it. Whip it good.
Welcome back to another WIP Sunday, everyone. Tonight we're going to be probably a little different thing than what you usually see on the channel. Well, I know a lot different because we're going to be working on Transformers because next weekend is TFcon, and I've got a special guest who's going to be premiering something at TFcon, and we have the Quintesson Syndicate.
Hey, what's up?
Get you on solo and show up what you're working on here.
Oh, man. The multitude of things that are going on right now. Just trimming up some feet. I don't know if you can.
Oh, I can see the feet real good.
All right. Sorry, I'm trying to stream it on my phone so I can see the live chat too, but my phone's lagging behind it. Hang on one sec. Because I can't see the iPad at the same time.
We got a good view of all the Sharkticons.
So lovely.
Stages of construction.
See it over there, but my phone is a little laggy. Oh, well.
Yeah, we can see your feet, your work pad fine.
Well, yeah, because I mean, like these figures themselves, I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, but I'm putting them out as what's called a garage kit. Because if you can see, I'm going to look up to the camera here a little bit. But the underside of them are a little bit rough, and there are some areas on them that are a little bit rough, but the figure itself doesn't transform.
You'll see on display where they're going to be standing too, so you won't see the roughness at all. So.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like the original. So this is the original one that I built, where the lower jaw was a little bit rough, and then what I did was I changed the orientation of the mouth. I'll show you another one, so that it's actually a lot nicer. So what I've tried to do with it is I've tried to make it nice and smooth, like it's. Yeah, so that the rough area is at the back, and you'll never see that because that's where it stands vertically instead of laying flat, and it's so much nicer. And then there's obviously, I also made the gold one as well, which is going to be a draw at TFcon.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, so it's in gold filament, printed in all the same pieces. Like the underbelly's still 2 parts. Every single piece, like this gave me the biggest trouble trying to print this filament. It's but it'll be $2 per ticket kind of thing. And again, it's still a garage kit, so it's got a little bit of rough edges, but I've tried to make it as clean as I possibly could. Still has the same 29 points of articulation, and it takes roughly about 52 hours of just print time alone to print it.
Wow. That's going to be a heck of a prize winner there. What was that old stuff that Transformers dipped in like nuclear? No.
What's that?
What was that the golden pond they dipped in? What was that stuff called?
Oh, the Golden Lagoon.
Yeah, they called it something other.
It's the Golden Lagoon. Yeah.
Yeah, they had like a Cybertronian name for the liquid.
Oh yeah, that I can't remember. It's been a long time.
Hey, Orlando, and hey, Fabulous Disaster. Welcome. We're all working. And we got. He won't show what he's working on right now. And,
leave me alone.
Smash. The other joining in, just talking to other customizers who work on stuff. And we got Mr. B, and we're back.
Oh, Mr. B, there's some people over from Papa Gord's channel.
Oh, gotcha. Fabulous just said that Papa Gord sent us over.
Yeah. Papa Gord's fantastic. Good friend.
Mr. B. Alrighty. I got a lot of kits I've been putting off installing. Got a lot of non-S kits, some DNA kits. Not so much full customizing on the Transformers tonight, but stuff I've been putting off for a long time to do. Basically fixes too with Hasbro. I just opened this right before the stream, the Laser Optimus Prime, and there's so much flashing on the ball joint. Every time I turn the head on my Laser Prime, it pops the head off. So I'm trying to clean that up. I was thinking about pink eyes. I always like the yellow eyes on Prime on the toys. This one got blue on blue eyes, and you can't hardly see anything.
Yeah, you're better off painting those.
But I can't get the head apart. So, which is all right because I'm gonna order the sticker kit from Toy Hacks. Gives you the proper stickers for the tank. It's supposed to have like a little mural on the side, but they cheaped out and didn't give us stickers for it. But Toy Hacks made them, so I'm gonna order some of those.
Toy Hacks is great for that stuff.
Oh yeah. I was hoping a little better when they revealed the Scourge. Like, I don't think Toy Hacks is going to fix the lack of paint and odd choices on Scourge.
No, that's where your paint skills come into play, right?
Yeah, it's where it's so much needs to be done. It's like, surely they're going to do a regular Scourge too. Well, I would rather wait to see.
Hasbro loves their repaints, right?
Yeah.
Yes, they do. You ain't lying about that, my man. God, dog.
I mean, put it into any of their figure lines, and I mean, look at Star Wars.
What's one of the things I'm disappointed in more than anything? All the kits they've shown for the Laser Prime, nobody gives them this gun, the original Laser Prime's gun.
Oh, you talking about the double barrel?
Yeah, the double barrel blaster. It's like the DNA kit don't have it. He can hold
Yeah, but give it time, they will.
Yeah.
I feel like DNA sometimes looks at what customizers are doing and then maybe takes a few hints from them, kind of thing.
Yeah, I was disappointed when they did the Studio Series 86 Grimlock. That kit is so expensive because they made a full figure of the Willy. I was like,
oh yeah, I have that kit actually.
I was like, man, I don't want Willy. Give me the Grimlock parts.
I mean, Wheelie's a lot better than what came with the actual.
The reason why I don't want Willy, I got the Takara Titan's Return one, so I don't need a Willy. This is a perfect figure.
You must want Willy.
And it transforms.
I got the Masterpiece version from X Transbots, and it like the second run of it.
Yeah,
that's supposed to be less flimsy or whatever, but it's still not the best figure. But
yeah,
there aren't really any other offerings at the MP scale though.
I've passed on like all the Wheelies so far, the third-party ones, and of course, it's one of the things too. I'm in the generation that hated Willy. It's like I don't want to pay a premium price to buy Willy.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you remember the G1 toy of Wheelie though?
Oh yeah, I used to have that thing.
Is that thing just awful?
Yeah.
Which one?
A lot of the Transformers from back then were awful. I mean, like Wreck-Gar was massive.
Yeah. He was a fun toy though. Wreck-Gar was.
I never had it as a kid.
Had the rubber tires, and the motorcycle mode was really nice.
Yeah, but the bot mode, he had like a big bobblehead kind of thing.
Yeah, he had a pretty good sized noggin. I guess he's Dr. Wu weapons. It's just the simplest things I'm going to do tonight. Dr. Wu kits for mini bots.
Oh, sorry, Mr. B just asked a question. What that I'm making? So from Transformers, the first like generation one, like the actual movie itself, they were the Sharkticons. So they were the Quintessons had them in their pit, and they just had them circle around, and they're just like these transforming robot shark things. They transform into a robot and the shark, but most of the time you just see them in shark mode getting pounded by the Dinobots and stuff.
Yep.
And so this is the first time I've ever tried to 3D design anything, and I designed this figure. I made a custom back in 2019 and won the customs contest at TFcon, and that thing transformed. So I had some ideas with that, but I just couldn't figure out how to translate them into a 3D design because I was so new to it. And I just kind of started farting around with Tinkercad, of all things. And I came up with this design for the Sharkticon. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to print this masterpiece scale. And what ended up happening was the scale that I designed it at was exactly half the scale of my custom. So by enlarging everything, all the files by 200%, it made it this size, like this masterpiece scale. Like it was really like one of those like weird trippy things that I didn't plan it, but it worked out that it was exactly half.
Those are the best, man.
Stuff.
That's how most discoveries are made, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it's it's been an interesting time. Like, you never know just how much time goes into designing things until you do it yourself, right? And holy cows, like there's a steep learning curve, especially when it comes to tolerances and stuff. Rigger, come here.
Oh, question. What 3D printer are you using, or would you suggest for somebody who's just now starting out?
I was lucky enough that I had a little bit of help in acquiring my 3D printer, and I went with a Prusa. I did a lot of research on 3D printers, and I went with a Prusa i3 MK3S Plus.
You got a price on that thing?
You can get it as a kit, and it was kind of scary. It was kind of scary building it. I'm not gonna lie, because I had no idea what I was doing. Like, absolutely no idea. And so building that, the kit I think was 900. I'm going to say 900 Canadian.
Okay.
Mr. B said, "No kidding, those are absolutely great." And are you selling them?
Oh, the Sharkticons? Yeah, I am. I'm selling them. I've got these ones I'm making right now. I'm making them for TFcon Toronto for next weekend. And I'll be at the Madhouse Toys booth. So a little shout out to Madhouse Toys, because he's a good friend of mine. So he said that I can sell them at his table at TFcon.
Man, I went to TFcon Toronto one time, and it was a great experience. It's a long haul for me. I live in Virginia, so you know.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's a huge haul.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's worth it though. I mean, to get so many people that are there to just enjoy themselves, like it's a fun time. And like the panels, I hadn't really done the panel stuff until I started doing the customs, because I had to wait around to get to find out who won the customs contest for the 2 years that I entered it. And so I would stick around and actually like listen to some of the interesting panels. I got to meet some of the voice actors, like the guy who plays who does the voice for Megatron and Beast Wars Megatron.
Oh,
yeah, and like the guy who killed Optimus Prime, what is it, Bob Budiansky, something like that?
Yeah.
And he basically introduced Hot Rod, and I mean, I tried to read his book, but it wasn't really my thing.
As a lot of Transformers fans call Hot Rod the Kingslayer.
Well, yeah, I mean, he had to make everybody hate that, and then he was getting a lot of hatred for having, written the script that way, and he was like, well, this is just what they told me to do.
Yeah, the dirtiest thing is when they didn't really tell Peter Cullen until he come in to read.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no way.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah.
Like, by the way, buddy, we're killing you all.
1 year too. At TFcon, and then my buddy has an escape room that was there at TFcon, and he actually did a voice recording for him for the escape room. And so when you're trying to do the escape, it was Peter Cullen's voice telling you what to do and how much time you had left and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Mr. B says he's in England. Do you do PM sales, PayPal?
Yeah, Mr. B, you're a good friend of Gord's. We can work something out. I can easily put one together for you. Just so you know, they're not perfect. They're 3D printed, right? So.
Okay, that made more sense. It's like when I read Rolando's comments, like, "How's the camera chowder, Mr. B?" He's like, "Then clam chowder." Camera chowder. I was like, I was watching a stream the other night. It's like another toy channel. I don't know. Their camera would go every so often. It's like I thought, somebody's camera making a noise.
Yeah, Mr. B, I would absolutely send one over, man. That's not a problem. We can work that out at any time. I'm selling them for I think a fair price, 160 Canadian. I'm not sure what that is in American, but
are you euro or is it pounds or euro? You're at.
Oh, he's in New York.
Oh, okay, cool. So you'd be familiar with the like it needing a little bit of work if you wanted to do a little bit of work on it. Like, so I'm selling them as garage kits, so they do need a little bit of work. I'll show you the underside of one that's built.
I'll
just to show you actually that one. Not that one.
There you go. I'll give you full screen.
Excuse me. So I'm just trying to look at the underside here. So if you look at it there, it does have a little bit of roughness to where the supports were removed underneath. But I did try to add like their two-tone sort of underbelly to give it a different color under there. So it does look a little bit on the rough side. And then there's some areas that are, you know, slightly rougher. But I've done my best to print most of it. Like I changed the mouth, the orientation of the lower jaw, so that's nice and smooth underneath. The original one was a little bit more rough. I'll show you the difference here. So originally the design was printing where this was just sitting flat, and so it's creating all those same sort of ridges, and I really didn't like that. So I repositioned the part on the print bed. But just to give you an idea, here I'll move my camera around just to show you some of the stuff here. Like I've printed a whole bunch of lower arms. A few of them are broken there. There are more to be worked on, and then on the other side here are all the little parts to the hand. So there's about 29 points of articulation on the whole entire figure, and it takes about 52 hours to print one whole figure from all the parts. And that's if, you know, things don't break and trying to assemble them and they kind of crack, like, and then working with the tiniest of like hinge swivels. This tiny little thing.
You know what? Taking all this into consideration, that is a fair price that you're selling them for.
Yeah.
Oh God, they're very fair, man. Very fair.
Look at the conversion to 118.98 euros.
Yeah, like they're not perfect, and I wouldn't. I've thought about the price of a whole bunch of times, and then
you've got 55 hours per figure. That's a lot of work per figure.
Well, plus assembly too, right? That's just print time.
That's just print time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, some people may not view it because and I've had criticism like, oh, it doesn't transform. I'm like, yeah, but I'm just new to 3D printing and I've never done this before, and here I am. I've made my own action figure, and I learned it in like a month, I think, and it's still like I had to refine the process as I was making it too. So
yeah, but the shark mode is a more popular mode, anyways. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
There's not many people that play a Sharkticon in robot mode.
It's not just that, man. There's other people that do stuff like that, but transforms. But I guarantee they didn't put that work in like that. I've seen some people's stuff like that, and yours is by far on a superior level of quality.
Yeah,
and I take a lot of pride in it, right? So I mean,
yeah.
I've tried to make something that I would feel comfortable displaying on my own shelf. And I mean, if somebody doesn't like it, and if they don't sell, then I would gladly put 15 Sharkticons on my shelf and call it a day, and just make hilarious dioramas with them, right?
Right.
He's got 101 articulations, and he said he knows what's involved in 3D printing, assembly, painting. It's a lot of work. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think we've talked a few times, Mr. B, about printing and whatnot. I think I've asked you like a million questions about like what's wrong with my printer. I'm pretty sure, like on Instagram or something. I think Gord sent me your way. But like, even to put it in perspective, like, I'm shaving down this tiny little peg with my X-Acto knife so that it will actually fit through the ball, like the actual joint. I don't know if it's hard to see.
So what I heard is you putting in that work.
Tiniest little thing. And I learned about, printing orientation in terms of like part failure and stuff. It's an interesting time trying to figure out what's going on when something goes wrong or something doesn't print right.
There you go. Pick off the. I'm going to chance it. I'm going to put a little bit of background music on. It's like I know that I put it down low enough, and we always talk, so I don't think that guys who try to copyright the free music on StreamYard.
Oh, okay.
So
somebody tried to copyright all the free music on StreamYard and then trying to strike people.
Oh god.
Wow.
Yeah, Mr. B, you're right. Totally could make a jig for it. That's just time I don't have. These things have to get done, and that's just part of the. I mean, I could also try printing them without the what's it called? The wrath, like around the parts, but then I run the risk of it not sticking to the print bed, and not exactly the. I really don't know 100% what I'm doing. I'm still very new to all of this. Like I said, I've been refining the process as I go, and little things that come up here and there, or you think you're assembling a part right, and then all of a sudden, you're hammering the part back together, and then it just snaps. So like I have to reprint 4 of these arms because 4 of them snapped. But
You got some nippers?
oh no, I've got those too, but like I'm kind of meticulous when it comes to this stuff. So like I really want it to be a certain way, otherwise like I don't know, it aggravates me, like if it doesn't look right.
Right.
So basically, what he's saying is he's sitting here, and all of a sudden, the Fire Nation attacks.
Yep.
It was
Yeah,
all
what,
good.
what other local retailers are going to be at the TFcon?
I think the usual ones. I'm not sure if Chosen Prime is going to be there or not. I think they're not going this year to Toronto.
That'd be a first.
No, well, they weren't there in December either, but December was kind of like seemed like not a last minute show, but like
Yeah, I guess like with
the whole pandemic thing.
restrictions for travel.
Yeah, and trying to get all of that stuff across the border and everything, like it probably just wouldn't be worth the potential risk, maybe. So like I'm not really sure what's happening at this TFcon because I've been so focused on just trying to build my own stuff. So
You get, there's a lot of good Canadian vendors too. Like, isn't Agents 3 and Up Canadian?
Yeah, they work really closely. Madhouse works with them. Actually, he works at their store, the owner of Madhouse, and he knows them really, really well. Oh, the other thing too is that there's going to be a full review of I'm calling it my Marauder figure. That's going up on Wednesday through the Rusty Mechanic. So a guy that works really closely with Madhouse, he's got one of my figures in hand, and he was going to throw up a review for it on Wednesday. So that'll go live. So that'll be interesting too.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be great, man.
Yeah, it's cool when people want to try to help out, right? Like get some exposure. Like I'm pretty much nobody, right? I just sit in my basement and make things sometimes. So
Hey, man, that's where I got mine. Jared over here.
Hey, I'm glad to give people voices too.
Yeah, no, man, I really appreciate this too, especially before TFcon to kind of hype it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I invited a whole bunch of people that other customizers, but with like time restrictions from like the UK to the US and Canada. It's like 2 a.m. there or something.
Oh yeah. It's like I was surprised one night I just did like a impromptu painting stream, and a friend from the UK popped in and like, man, what time is it there? He's like 3 a.m.
Oh, yeah, he was with us till 4 a.m.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah, his 4 a.m.
Oh, I was gonna say you guys were on here till 4 a.m. What are you
No.
talking about for that long?
Let's see.
Hey, I'm gonna run silent for a minute so I can do this airbrush without bothering y'all.
Okay. I'm looking at these tiny, terrible instructions, like with this in combined robot mode.
Clam chowder. I actually really enjoyed clam chowder up until I somehow just no longer milk ingredients no longer agreed with me. I like them, they don't like me.
I have had clam chowder and I couldn't tell you when. So
I used to love it as a kid.
that's me.
Have
I
that
love
with
it
like a
when I was
nice
little,
grilled
but
cheese sandwich.
yeah, I couldn't remember the last time I had it. I guess I was, I don't know what age I was last time I had it. I used to get it all the time. The little crackers float in your soup. Drop those in there.
I'm just picturing like animal crackers floating around in a super.
They were like little octagons, like little like clam chowders.
They're oyster crackers, people.
Or there you go,
Come
oyster
on.
crackers. That's it. I remember I haven't had them one forever.
You are
they got that clam chowder in a bread bowl too.
Ooh, now we're talking some like. Now you're making me hungry.
Yeah, no kidding, eh?
We can do that on these streams.
Now we're gonna do a mukbang stream now.
A what?
Mukbang, where you eat on stream.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
No, not that. We will never do that on the stream.
Oh, come on! I want to see. I want to see you do the hot chip challenge.
Wait, are we getting weird right now?
No.
Come on, Jared, do the hot chip challenge.
No, thank you. I have a severe case of misophonia, where sounds enrage me, and chewing is that.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a.
Oh, you don't
There's
want to see.
there's another Canadian legend for you in the,
Yes,
in the chat there, Papa Gord. What up, Papa Gord?
And it's like, it's just an irrational rage of hearing people like chew and smack their lips.
Well, have you ever watched those videos, those ASMR videos of the people?
No, those are made by the devil.
Oh, jeez, they're so annoying.
ASMR, yeah, that's what the students all like listen to.
Dude, so that
But they
means
can listen to that stuff for days, though. I don't understand.
if you ever mess with me, I got something I'm gonna send you now. Now I know your weakness.
Okay. Just remember, I can also do this.
Savage, man, savage.
Just getting reckless.
You know what? You were just exiled, my friend, for 2 seconds.
Oh my God, he sent me to the shadow realm. Guys, it was horrible.
No, he sent you to the Phantom Zone.
Oh God.
Phantom Zone projector.
So, not any reason I look at instructions anymore. Transformers are a lot more delicate than they used to be.
Well, I mean, their plastics that they use are nowhere near as robust. They used to use metal in their stuff too.
Hey man, I almost wish I episode of Beast Wars. They even talk about that die-cast metal construction.
It's a lost art, man. Yeah, Jared makes some awesome stuff.
Thanks, guys. I don't know much about things, but I just kind of MacGyver it. You guys remember MacGyver?
Yep.
Sure. Well, they had that rebooted series there for a while.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah,
know about that.
Pretty good.
CBS put it out. They made a point in the very first episode of the story, 2 Ferraris, a 308 and a modern one.
Ooh. So now we're getting into one of my other interests, which are cars.
Oh, mine too.
Yeah, but you're probably going to laugh at my interest in Hondas because you're the like old school sort of muscle car type thing, maybe?
I like it. Well, I like the muscle, but there's different stuff people like. I don't discount anybody's likes in vehicles.
That's awesome. Well, I figured you wouldn't, but yeah, no, I have Hondas have always been sort of my jam. So my summer car is a 1995 Honda Del Sol SI. That looks basically stock, except it's lowered just a little bit, just so it doesn't look like it's off-roading.
One of the things I've gotten older too, I appreciate more of the sleepers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'd love to own something more old school, like an old school like Chevy truck. That'd be great.
As some may know, figured out by my customizing handle.
1987.
Your olds?
Yeah, I have a 87 Olds Cutlass 442 with a 507 big block in it.
Ooh. How many horsepower does that thing have?
Never dynoed it. The engine builder that built it didn't have a plate for it to fit on the dyno, where it's a odd engine.
Okay.
But I built it using the specs and went from there. My baseline was a 70 Eldorado, which had 400 horsepower, 600 foot-pounds of torque. But I got a bigger intake, bigger cam, better.
So basically, it's just called beast mode.
Yeah, it's probably around about 500 horsepower and
I was going to say probably 500 horse.
and over 600 foot-pounds of torque,
Nice.
and it has done so.
All I know is you live your life a quarter of a mile at a time.
Right now, it's like,
This is a family. This is a family show, right?
yeah, family.
Family.
Yeah, hey, Jared, you need to start doing that. Every time somebody says family, you got to hit us with that.
I need
We're
that.
customizing for family.
You were here last weekend. I showed the guys like there's a bunch of Dominic cosplayers from Shreddo, and they're all lined up in a row going family.
Oh man.
Yes, and because you showed me that, now you and Dom have been getting randomly hit with that meme. Just remember, you started this.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you can't cry when it rains if you create your own storm.
Yeah. Never mind. I think the
Man, the
character.
chat's still going on about chowder.
I got to say it right, man. It's chowder.
Chowder.
Oh, New England, yeah.
New England clam chowder. Oh man. All right. So I try to start with the parts that I hate putting together, which is all this fiddly, like tiny little things, where if I don't hammer it in just the right way, it may break. And then it works, and I'm like, all right, next. Oh, it's the worst feeling when like I think I printed probably like 6 or 7 different forearms for the gold Sharkticon or the gold Marauder figure, and it was just ridiculous. Like they just kept breaking over and over and over, and it was just driving me absolutely nutty. For some reason, that filament, the silk filament, was just a pain to print. I never experienced anything like it before.
Well, this is something. I don't know. It seems like you had like a part. It looked like this.
Yeah.
The little loop.
Oh, one of these things.
Yeah. Non-F
A little
sells
hinge
these in
swivel.
like non-F sells these in like packs.
Yeah, but
And-
then I'd have to design around it when I could just print
Right.
my own at home. For,
Exactly. It's like I was wondering if that
like 4 cents a gram kind of thing.
I would
I
assume
mean, the other thing I could do is I could mold and cast stuff, but
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to be like everything came off the 3D printer. It's kind of like the novelty of it all, right?
I watched what's it? The Craftman. He was able to make
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's absolutely awesome, and he's got where he can do he's got one of those injection molding machines.
Yep.
And he can make molds, like temporary molds with 3D printing. Where you inject.
Yeah. I thought about that too, about just taking one of the 3D prints, sanding it all perfectly smooth, and making all the parts like incredibly perfect, and then making a mold of that. But the process is just it's lengthy.
Yeah, there's a ton of work no matter what's involved, which way you go with it.
Well, I mean, yeah, look at me just trying to like get the tiny piece out of here that's missing. Or like,
we got a question not about clam chowder. We got
Or family.
oh, printers. I just have one, so it's basically just like been put to work like every single day. So like when I'd go to work, I'd have it print for like 8 hours while I'm at work. So by the time I got home, the print would be done, and I just pop the next print on. Like the body alone on this figure, on the Marauder figure, is 20 hours to print.
Dang.
Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. I mean, like, people probably don't understand when they look at it and they go, oh, there's so many imperfections, and they hum and haw about stuff. And it's like, well, if you knew the time that gets put into just designing alone and then printing 52 hours, then trimming all the little parts, making sure they all fit, breaking a few on the way, stabbing yourself in the thumb, like just whatever. Like, this thing is not for children. Like, there are pointy, sharp ends on this. You can probably see them right there. Like, they have stabbed me I don't know how many times. I've run the X-Acto knife into my hand a whole bunch of times. Like, and I'm being careful. Like, I'm cutting away from myself, and somehow the X-Acto knife is like, nope, I need to be in your thumb right now. That'd be great.
Scars on my hands from X-Acto knives. Of course, that one is a angle grinder cutting in my thumb. I was working on my car.
Oh, cars are a whole different thing. Now you're talking about like things that can crush your entire skull.
Yeah.
At least the X-Acto knife, the most it can do is cut a digit off.
I've got nerve damage in this finger from an X-Acto knife.
Ooh.
It went down to the bone. I was sitting there like trying to basically do what I was doing with this Optimus Prime. I was trying to pry the head apart.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there like, it come apart. And it went right through my finger.
Ooh. That's the worst feeling.
You must have come home to a failed print, Mr. B asked.
Oh, yeah. I've come home to failed prints or where it's like spaghetti. And you look at it and you're like, how did the rest of this still print? But this one area just looks like blackened and like charred and like, like the spaghetti was left in the oven at the bottom of a pan for an hour on like high temperature or something. Oh yeah, I've seen a few things, and then or it will stop printing or like messes up in half of it, and then all of a sudden there's spaghetti, and then the part starts printing properly again. And you're like, what kind of sorcery is this? Like, just to laugh at me, I guess, maybe. Woohoo! No breakage. Oh.
Ooh. Rolando said he run the top of his finger through a meat slicer and had to
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ow.
That is a tough one. That is not for the faint of heart at all.
Okay. Was trying to get the Green Goblin to fit into a spaceship in 1999. Oh, question is, did you get it to fit? A friend of mine, the Archvillain Comics, he found one at a flea market a while back, and he actually did a review of it on the channel. I broke down and I got tired of trying to not be able to see these tiny instructions. I got my readers.
Oh, are you still working on on taking that Optimus Prime apart?
No, this is something else. I got to Titans Return these two. I forget what classes they were called at the time. The smaller bots. They're not. I guess they're legend scale.
Oh yeah, kind of like the 4 class or something.
The battle chargers, like ones where they got the 2 robots turn into one combiner.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, not Titans Return. It was the Power of the Primes. Okay.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Battle Trap and Road Trap.
Or like the one that had it was like a helicopter. I think it was part of it or something.
Yeah, a helicopter and an SUV.
Yeah, I think I had that, and then I tried getting rid of it. I think I sold it off when I sold my Power of the Primes, like combiners and stuff.
You guys have combiners?
Yes.
I did.
I'm gonna make a whole army of combiners.
We lost our host.
Wait, what? How'd that happen?
I kicked myself out the stream again.
What just happened? We lost them?
This stupid mouse. This button here on the side and right next to your thumb when you grab the mouse, it kicks you out of the stream.
How are we even still here?
Well, Smash is a co-host now.
Oh. So you've chosen your best friend, I see.
You know how I kick myself all the time, and Hulk Smash has never kicked himself out.
He doesn't have that same button problem.
No, Hulk don't smash himself.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Yeah.
I see how it is, Jared. Dom's your best friend now.
Now, I've known the guy for 15 years?
Has it really been that long?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's actually probably more than that, actually.
Listen, Dom, I told you, I'm trying to do my thing. Stop messing me up, man. You're supposed to be on my side here. You're Canadian. As far as I know, you guys are docile.
What did I tell you about me and Jared? We're family.
Oh man, never gets old, eh?
No.
I don't think that one's gonna get old for a while.
Family.
This is why I love you guys. Y'all crack me up.
It's because we're family.
Yeah. Well, look at those Sharkticons look like a big happy family too.
Oh my god, I can't wait till they're actually all done and just one giant group photo.
Oh, we get chat that filled up. Watch it. It did, but I managed my fingers hindered the playtime. Into the Eagle One for my Star Wars figures. Yeah, the Eagle One's pretty cool ship.
Which one?
Using wire cutters.
Which ship was it?
Space 1999, the Eagle One.
Oh, okay.
One of the best ships built by Relin. The rockets fit behind the cockpit. Yep. It looks more like where you got the boosters on there, multiple places where it's better for space flight. True that. Wars figures it was tight in the cockpit, yeah. Plus, the Star Wars only had 5-point articulation too. The arms up and down and the head through.
Have you guys seen the new multicolored Star Wars retro figures?
No.
I think they did a prototype recently, and the most recent one that came out around my area was the Chewbacca. 5 points of articulation, but every single part is a different color, brightly colored.
Why?
I don't know. It's some kind of throwback to a prototype, maybe, or something. I don't really know.
Oh, okay.
But they seem to sell out like crazy, so quickly. Not that I'm looking for one, but I don't know. My area, there seem to be there are at least 2 or 3 scalpers that as soon as Toys R Us posts that they have something, I don't know what they do for a living, other than maybe living under a bridge, but they go right over to Toys R Us and take everything. Everything. There's hardly ever anything unless it's been on the shelf and there's really no interest in resale on it.
God, scalpers suck, man. They take away. They literally are fun suckers.
Well, I mean, they're part of the game, right? So it kind of makes the hunt that much more special when you find something and you're like, whoa, I got here before a scalper got here. I kind of think it adds to the fun of seeing something on the shelf for the first time, or, being able to grab 3 of a figure because you got 2 buddies who want them, and then it's not a scalper getting them. You're like, ha, scalper.
As a parent,
I had some dude get mad at me on I did the review of the Cobra Island Vipers.
Yeah.
Well, it's a trick builder, so I bought what they had. And I hooked up one of my friends up with that live locally too. We have a local scalper as well. And I beat the scalper. So me and my buddy got the Vipers. And the dude's like, well, you could have left one on the shelf for everybody except somebody else.
I had that happen once too with remember the Clone Wars Ahsoka?
Yeah.
That figure, I remember going because I used like some kind of online tracking tool or whatever, and it was working. And so I went to, just before work, I went over to Walmart. Ooh, got that in. And I picked up I think 6 of them. There were 2 guys there, and the one guy said I need this many, the other guy said I need that many, and I said, well, I'll take whatever's left because I've got a whole bunch of friends looking for them. And I remember walking out of the place, and this guy came like chasing after me, and he just started ripping into me. He was like, "You're gonna sell me one? You're gonna sell me one?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute." I recognized the guy from a different store when he was looking for a different exclusive at a different Walmart, and he was so rude to the employees, and he was rude to me then too. But he didn't remember who I was. So I just kind of didn't say anything. I got to the register. He's like, well, you're going to sell me one? You're going to sell me one? And I just turned around and said, sorry, they're all spoken for. And then he stormed off to customer service, like going like crazy. It's like flipping out. But I was like, well, I guess you should.
Yeah, there's a husband and wife around here that gets all the Joes. They're,
okay.
I remember I posted like, hey, I found these at my local Target, yada yada. Then I got hounded by Joe collectors are crazy.
Oh yeah, they can.
They want you to give you like the store number and where you found them at. It's like
the name of your firstborn child. Yeah.
It's like local Target. That's where I found them. They're Target exclusive. I'd rather not dox myself like for you to find a toy.
Yeah, remember when movie cable came out from Marvel Legends, and you came over to Brampton to collect a bunch?
Oh yeah, and that guy, I walked past him, and then he went on one of the forums or something, and like
yeah, he said you ran to the toy aisle, and you're like, I think he was surprised when you answered. You're like, actually, that was me, and I actually was just walking.
It was a casual walk. He just had a really, really slow pace. And like, I don't mean to make fun of anybody, but like the guy was not like, he would not have your stereotypical marathon runner build. So like to him, my walking or my running was probably just my regular pace.
Well,
that was funny though, because I remember when you answered him in the forum, he didn't expect you to be a member.
No. Oh man, that was funny. That was good. But I mean, like those all went to people that I knew, though. I think I sold one for like an inflated price, and then immediately felt awful about it. So I think I sold it for like $50 or something, and then I was like, it just didn't sit right in. Like I don't know. That was the only time I think I've ever like quote unquote scalped a figure. And
yeah, but you want to know something though? He's worth a lot more now.
Is he really? I think I might have an extra one.
Yeah. What's funny, like with those Vipers too, like when I first went looking for them, I couldn't find. I just got there, and the husband and wife scalpers was there, and they were like asking, gave them the DCPI number, got the employee to go in the back and check for them.
Yeah,
and they gave me that line like, I don't know what it is, but like all like the G.I. Joe like scalper people. Oh, our son loves these.
Oh yeah.
It's like, just admit you collect toys. Then when I put it like I found it, he's like, "Oh, I was just there. I couldn't find them." And it's like, okay, they were there when I went. Then not long after that, his wife messaged me and saying, "It's our anniversary. I'd like to get these. Can I buy these off for you for my husband?" Like, I didn't.
Oh yeah.
Like, you're not buying them for your husband. You're going to try to scalp these because you want everything I got plus my fire. I got one Firefly because they had like
pretty hard to find.
4 Vipers at the time, and I bought 4. I kept 3. My buddy bought one off of me. I get what I paid for it retail.
Yeah,
and they want to buy all 3 of my Vipers. Well, actually, I want to buy all 4. and my Firefly would have left me with no figures.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I was like, no, I didn't reply. Because I remember you from when you said these were for your son.
Oh yeah, I had one guy. I put the cable figure up for retail, like maybe like 5 cents more than retail. I just rounded up the dollar to it, and the guy messages me, and he goes, "I'll give you $20 for it." I'm like, "You want me to lose money because you can't find the?" I don't understand.
Yeah, I had that happen one time before at a. I worked conventions for a while, selling off my extra stuff. Like it used to be like I'd buy when stuff was more affordable. You just buy the case and sell off the 2 extras that come on the case.
Oh, sure. I still do that.
I ended up having like a surplus of figures one time, and started thinning down my collection a little bit. And I still have a huge collection. And during setup, one of the people working in the convention asked me, like, "Can you sell this figure for me for less than retail?" Like, no.
Yeah, why don't you pay them a little bit of money too on top of it?
Yeah.
You mean you don't pay
I'm not
people
going
to
to take
take
a
your
loss
figures
on
away?
a figure. And that was one of the first figures that sold once it opened up.
Wow.
Ah, well.
I'm not going.
I mean, there's always like this darker side to everything, right? Like collecting.
Oh,
to
see you, Mr.
whatever
B.
it is, but...
Jared, look.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, sure. I'll have to make some more. They're a little bit of a fun adventure to print, but yeah, I can hook you up with a couple. Ship them out to the UK.
Is he in the UK or New England?
Or no, maybe no. Mr. B might be in the States. Are you in the States, Mr. B?
Yeah, I think he's in New England.
Okay, sorry, wrong.
Okay. Yeah, New England's different from England.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Now, thanks for making me feel real dumb.
Well, no. I thought he said England too. So, well, I was just saying that'd be a lot cheaper shipping.
Yeah, man. I'll make a couple, and once I get past this TFcon, I don't have to, be up all night printing. Like I think the teeth, when I print them, I made one file to print 11 sets of the upper and lower teeth, and it said something like 18 hours for all of them to print. I'm like, yep, I can set that and forget it, and then come back in 18 hours. Sure. It's like the smoker that I bought.
Oh yeah.
Greatest gift to my stomach ever.
Okay, can afford me. That's it. Okay. Definitely no rush. Okay, cool. Yeah, he's busy right now with getting these 15 ready for TFcon.
Oh, Rhode Island. I have some family in Rhode Island actually, and Mr. B's real close to me, so I meet up with them sometimes. Or not Mr. B, sorry, Gord. Papa Gord's close to me. Great guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, come on.
I remember. Sorry, I had to eyelash my eye. Mr. Papa B. Papa was on the sit rep with what's his name? Patriot Prime.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's a fun
what?
place.
What?
What was that?
What the?
Somebody remixing over there?
The sound of one hand clapping.
I think that sounded like one toilet flushing.
You're not supposed to tell my secret, man.
I don't know, cat's out of the bag. Or, I'm just not going to go there.
Nah, like I said, I'm doing a couple of airbrushing. So I won't show y'all what I'm doing, but I will tell you what I'm up to over here.
Wait, why won't you show us what you're doing?
Just pop your camera on.
Huh?
Pop that camera on.
Oh my God! Look, I gotta go in a minute anyway. So fine. Jesus Christ, praise a man.
We want to see.
Hey, we're just gonna keep pressuring you until you give in. For
Oh, here, let me. Yeah. How do I fix this thing? All right, here. God dang. I picked up. I'm kind of irritated. My buddy Jared showed me that somebody copied my goddamn Baroness
Oh,
after giving
copy
me
like
all
your
fucking hell about
style
it.
or what?
Oh, they were like people like try to like. He made a sexy Baroness with cleavage showing. People were like, how dare you sexualize the Baroness and yada yada yada. And now people are making Baronesses just like.
So maybe
So now
more of
I'm
the
gonna one up what I did.
Yes.
So I'm working on this version. I'm
Oh,
cleaning her up. I've got her a nice jacket.
Okay.
If I want to, I got coat accessory, sleeves, and I'm about to put some goddamn work in. So
I like how it's not just work, it's goddamn work.
yeah, I'm irritated. Damn it.
Wait, what's got you so irritated?
I mean, don't down me and then basically duplicate what I do.
Well, of course, you know.
Hey,
you
if
know
you've
how
got people imitating your work or people hating your work, then you're doing it.
flattery.
Well, they say, right? Like every time you're doing something right, there's somebody who's going to have a negative opinion about it, and there's going to be somebody who's going to copy what you're doing because obviously your idea is good enough that they're like, I like that, I want it.
Or somebody's going to accuse you of copying them when your custom looks nothing like theirs.
Oh, I remember that from that one customizer who like criticized yours. He came at me like in the group being like, I wanted to know what you would do about it. I'm like, why would I do anything about it? They're nothing alike. And then he got all like uppity with me and like self-righteous and stuff. And I was like, okay, dude, bye. You're the weakest link.
Yeah.
And I kicked him out of the group and he got all mad. And I was like, well, you're a jerk. Like, what? Like, you're just causing drama. Like, he was part of the admin team because at first the guy was all right. And then all of a sudden he just like went nuts. Like, everything was a fight. Everything was this. And like, oh.
I heard a lot of stories about him, man.
Yeah?
I
don't want to name names because I don't want to be that guy. But
I really need to get a hold of a second Croc Master as well because I'm in my G.I. Joe kick and I don't like his body, but I'm also working on a big boa.
Oh.
Okay.
Did your Croc Master come in?
No. It's going to be a while.
Mine came in yesterday.
Really? Oh, God, Randall's going to be so mad.
It was said it was supposed to be here like next week, and it's like I was sitting there like, I was just petting my dogs, and I got a notification on my phone. Your package was delivered.
No. Now my storm
nice.
shadow was supposed to be here Tuesday. We'll see.
Oh, guess what I found? Well, I did get Amazon to give me my money back from charging me for stuff they didn't send me.
Okay.
And I went to Target today and got Vulcan.
Dude, that Vulcan looks so good.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this ends up being on clearance because Targets are getting these in cases, Vulcans.
Hey, well, you know, I got a store out here.
And you got, I got my replacement Shriek, which is one of the things I love about having window boxes. Yeah, not Shriek, Siren, I'm sorry. I'm on the Shriek body. But the great thing about having the open packaging, the other one had like wrong. It had like a little gob of red paint on it. Like, we like having windows where we can look at paint. And I went through every Vulcan to find the best paint on the belt too.
I don't think those showed up here yet.
No, I haven't seen them. Oh wait, is that the what's his face? The dude with the tank body, right?
Bone
Breaker, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
heard about that wave showing up, but it's been like one case in a store or something.
But the local Target, they got a case. They only got 3 of the 6 figures. They got Wolverine, Vulcan, and Siren.
I don't understand why they keep does Wolverine really sell that well that they just want to keep remaking every single possible Wolverine figure?
Apparently, those figures are hot too. I didn't pick them up the other day because Target, not Target though. Amazon shipped. I pre-ordered them through Amazon, and they shipped 3 of the 6 figures. I didn't get the Wolverine because he don't come with Build-A-Figure piece, and I don't need another Wolverine.
Yeah, because you have like 800 of them already.
Exactly. I don't want to ever see Wolverine come with a bath piece ever again. The,
I don't think he does he, in this way?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
That's why I didn't get it. But they shipped 3 of the figures from the way, but charged me for all 6.
Wow.
And they said, "Oh, if you pay with a debit card, we do that at Amazon." No, you do not. I ordered tons of stuff from Amazon, and it's the first time y'all ever done this. So to get my money back, because the other figure still said they won't. It still said my other figures won't ship till November. But they
weird.
Told me for it.
Well, maybe they're just getting in those solid cases, because sometimes they come in mixed cases and sometimes they come in solid cases, right?
But to get my refund, I had to cancel those 3, which is fine because they had 2 of the ones I needed at the local Target.
Weird.
And the only one I went ahead and canceled it. They refunded it immediately, and I pre-ordered the Havoc.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And I left that. I made sure to not to use my debit card, so they don't charge me without it being there. Well, I got him all together finally. I fought with that too much. Then I want to go together. The weapons from Dr. Wu don't fit his slot, so I ended up wrapping some masking tape around the pegs. So that's the way it's going to be from now on the shelf. Let's see. I want to do my Conehead Seeker weapon upgrade. Non-F did these kits for different weapons for the Dirge and Ramjet. They come with like the standard null rays. And I want the toy style null ray weapons.
Is there, so I'm trying to pay attention while also doing things at the same time. Is there a huge difference between them? Like what they come with and what the upgrade set is?
Yeah, they're quite a bit different in looks because they're a lot bulkier.
Are they expensive though?
They're not expensive. His kits are pretty affordable. They're all injection molded parts. So they come like a kit. So you got to cut them off the sprues and stuff.
Oh yeah, kind of like a model kit, right? Like a Gundam kit kind of thing.
Yep.
That's all right.
You got to just do a little bit of work, clean them up.
Hey, I am not opposed to a little bit of work, apparently.
What's cool about these too, once you get them together, the connection point's hinged, so the weapon actually has a point of articulation.
That's pretty cool.
I think you guys were talking about Papa.
I think I'm finally getting tired of building hands and stuff. But I have so many more to build.
This is where a good set of nippers comes in handy when we're filming.
Honestly, well, it doesn't even, it's not even that. It's that once you take it off of it and you trim all the pieces up and then you start putting, it's the assembly, right? Like the assembly of it would take so long. And I don't know if people necessarily understand the time that goes into to just putting things together. Like it's like, sure, if you're doing like one figure or 2 figures and you make a set of legs and arms and you put them together and you use your little mallet and you know what I mean? Like that's cool and everything, but holy cows, after you do it 11 times, like I'm really happy I didn't do 20 of them because I would have yes, it's more money in the long run, but the time, I don't think I would have had them done in time for TFcon.
Yeah.
Like it is painfully time consuming to build these things. It steals a little bit of the joy out of it after a while, but then once they're done, that joy comes back like instantaneously.
I know what the Gobi's doing. He's messing with his airbrush, but it sounds horrible.
Well, god dang, man, just make me feel all terrible then.
It sounds like I don't know, I'll be hitting a bong or something.
Well, excuse
It's just
me.
back pressure in his air gun or his airbrush.
It's okay, guys. Well, here's the bad part and the good part for y'all then. I have to go do daddy duty.
Well, appreciate you
Daddy
putting on
duty
that.
makes it sound like you have to go use the facility.
Leave me alone, man. Leave me alone. Somebody, everyone's a critic.
So wait, you got to go for family?
Yes, I have to go for family.
Family.
He's even got the mask on just to prepare himself.
Yeah, that's for the duty. Duty calls.
I hate you, Dom.
You know you love me.
Well, always a pleasure, man.
Always a pleasure talking with you, gentlemen. Hey, man,
Yeah,
hope for the
you
best for
still
your
gotta let
stuff.
me know
I
about
know
that
you'll do
TLK
great.
head sculpt.
Huh?
You still gotta let me know about that TLK head sculpt. That
You know, I knew you were gonna say that. I freaking knew you were gonna say that. I told my wife you were gonna say that.
Hey, I'm just looking to help out, and I sometimes, maybe you're up to your ears in daddy duty, and you just need a reminder.
I don't know, man. Last time I talked to you, a lot of stuff has happened since then. If they want to fill you in, they are more than welcome to. Hey, do me a favor. Shoot, you need to add me on Facebook or something, man, because your email that you sent me has been lost in the waves of, the waves of emails I get.
All right.
So I'm not going to give you my
no
information on the stream. Jared, could you please pass it on? Because if I say my name, everybody and mama going to look me up and I'm going to be upset.
Oh, I got your contact information in your Degobi Custom. All your Degobi Custom contacts are in the description below.
Oh, well, he's allowed to actually hit me up on my personal.
Oh, okay.
Thanks,
cool.
man.
Hey, thank you, bro.
Well, he just found me the other day on. It's like, are you cool?
Yeah, I was surprised Dom didn't have you on there.
Oh, okay. So you guys take Facebook?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But you guys have a wonderful night. If I can get him squared away, I'll get back on.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Good
If
luck
not-
with it.
We'll get you back on.
Me? Hey, have a good one.
So you take
Thanks,
care.
everybody.
Take care of your little one.
All right, bud. I'm going to tell him Uncle Jared said, hey.
Hey. I'm actually wearing orange right now.
Oh, 2 for 1. Nice. I love it when things actually go like somewhat to plan, or you do something and all of a sudden it takes care of a different problem.
Yeah, some of the things you get when he's non-F kits too. Sometimes you got to clean up the injection points.
Oh yeah, like same thing for like the model kits, right? Where you sand down the edge a little bit, just to get off like the spurs or the sprue marks.
Yeah, you can see where the plastic goes into the molds. Like there's a little, I guess, like keep the little pockets to keep like air bubbles from forming into the parts when it's been run.
Yep. Injection molding is a crazy thing. I used to work at a plastic molding factory where they make buckets for like cat litter and stuff, and like all kinds of food products and things.
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting to see like when they just shoot out of this giant machine and the arms coming down with like a ton of pressure. I remember they had this one guy there because there was a lot of temp workers, and the one guy, I guess from whatever country he came from, he was an engineer. So when he saw a problem with the machine, his instinct was to go into the machine and try to fix it. And they kept telling him, like, don't go in there. It would pass this, like, gate. And it was when the arm was cut, like, the arm would come down. So the arm was coming down from the machine, and it would drop the buckets. Well, sometimes the bucket would get stuck. So this guy just kept going in there to, like, get the bucket free. And the guys kept telling him, don't go in there. That will crush your entire arm. And he just kept going into the machine. Like, he just wouldn't stop. I don't know if it was a language barrier or something, or if he just was like, oh, it's fine. I'll just go fix it. I was feared for his life every time he went in there, though. And I was working a machine close by that really didn't require any effort. And, it was nerve-wracking watching this guy go head first, crawl through this little tunnel behind, like, a fenced-in area, go over to the machine and just start pulling on it as hard as he could to pull this bucket out that was stopping the machine from going down.
Wow.
Oh yeah, insane.
That's where you get Darwin Awards.
Well, would you get it, or would it be a family member who'd have to pick it up for you?
Well, a Darwin Award is 2 different things. It could be either it ends your life before you can reproduce, or it ends your ability to reproduce.
Fair. That's fair.
Okay.
I gotta come pick up that figure off you whenever all the madness is over, Jared.
Oh, which one?
Ahsoka?
Oh, the movie Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was from a case that I ordered. And then I can't remember who's taking the Echo.
Sorry?
Somebody's grabbing the Echo as well, I think. Is Chris maybe?
Probably.
I feel like he's just getting into the Bad Batch figures.
Oh, is it the Rosara Dawson? How do you pronounce your name? Rosara Dawson?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Movie
version of. Yeah.
She actually did a really, really good job with it.
Yeah.
You know who I didn't like though for Star Wars was in the new Obi-Wan show. Did not enjoy the woman that's playing the Inquisitor, like the female Inquisitor. Like her acting skills were just like they were rough.
Yeah, her acting was terrible. It did not feel like somebody in Star Wars.
No.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of her.
And if you had any criticisms of her, it's not because you just can't stand her acting. You just don't like so and so because of you're just a bigot. It's like no, she can't act.
Well, you sometimes wonder about when actors play roles like Disney's big. You'd think that the actors that they choose to play these roles would be like the top-notch actors, no?
Yeah. Well,
like the cream of the cream. Like if they can afford all of this stuff, which I'm sure they can, wouldn't you want to pay the best people to play the role?
Like them or hate them, Lucas really worked at making sure it didn't feel like Earth and Earth people.
Yeah. Like George Lucas, you mean?
Yeah, George Lucas.
Yeah.
He was a terrible director, but he had a vision. He stuck with it. The other people, like with directing stuff, helped make the original trilogy what it was. But he wanted to make sure it felt like an alien world and alien people. That's why the original Star Wars movies are timeless.
Yeah, that's true. Well, because he was creating. They did a lot of that stuff on such a low budget initially, too, right?
Yep.
Like I'm pretty sure Luke's lightsaber was just like the parts guy just went back and grabbed whatever he could and glued a bunch of things together. I think.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the fun of it. Like it was kind of magical that way.
Well, even the blaster, the way they made the Stormtrooper blaster, I heard was like just a bunch of junk they put together.
Well, they used actually vintage firearms and just added some stuff on top of them, like some rare firearms.
Yeah.
Huh. See, that kind of ingenuity, I think, is what's lacking today when they can just CGI everything.
Yeah, well, it's like
the prop masters, like the art of the prop making it's not gone, but like it isn't as prominent as it once was.
The chase scene, I didn't finish up Obi-Wan because it's just the acting on it, the story was terrible. I was like,
yeah, but the last episode's totally worth it. I'm not going to spoil it for people because that's not my jam. But like the last episode is worth. It makes up for like the other ones where you're like, what is going on here?
Obi-Wan should have had no interaction with child Leia.
Yeah.
The chase scenes too, like the mercenaries chasing her in the woods. All they needed was to add some Benny Hill music.
Yeah, I know. That was so fake. Like you could tell that they were. It's like, what the hell are they trying to do? All they have to do is reach out their arm and grab her, and they would just like fall over.
Yeah, I could just picture it.
They should have had something epic too, like maybe like have them take out her royal guard and kidnap her that way, not just like she's in the woods and they check a horrible choreographed chase scene.
Yeah,
make them actually seem like a threat,
not just a bunch of dudes just kind of like
that can't catch
lumbering through the wilderness.
Yeah, a bunch of incompetent idiots that can't catch a slow moving small child.
Well, the other thing too, I mean, like, I don't know. I've seen a lot of like Star Wars fans just try to rip apart every little tiny thing. Like,
Oh yeah,
I think what they lose sight of sometimes is that their target audience for a lot of this stuff are not the old school fans. They're trying to entice a new generation of kids to watch Star Wars.
the problem. One of the issues they got too is though doing these prequel series, they keep messing up continuity. Just what they should be doing is just doing like Mando. Move the story forward.
Yeah, Mando was what Boba Fett should have been.
Boba Fett series was awful.
I didn't mind the last episode.
Well, it only got good when Mando showed up.
Yeah, the 2 episodes.
The last few episodes was like season 2.5 of The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, that's right, because he fights Heavy Mando.
Yep.
About that. I got to rewatch that. That was kind of fun. But then I don't understand the Darksaber. So, if the Darksaber, spoiler alert for anybody watching, if the Darksaber is supposed to be so difficult to yield, then why do some of them just pick it up and just wave it around like it's nothing? But Mando has a problem waving it around.
I don't know. But I actually like the ideal. They've ruined it in Star Wars. It used to be like you think, what's the big? If you got the Force, they've changed the Force powers too so much over the years, like what it can and cannot do.
Yeah,
but they should have made the lightsaber where only a Jedi can use it. You got to have the Force to actually channel the power.
the power to actually hold it up and wield it.
That and really, you think about it, there should be like a way to activate it because.
But then what would happen to those Padawan
turn
learners?
on a laser and it stops 2 feet out.
Right, but then if you're one of the Padawan, how do you put your lightsaber together if you can't wield the parts to, you know what I mean? It runs into a little bit of difficulty there.
Well, one of the things too, though, the crystals inside the lightsabers are living entities. That should be one of the reasons why you need to be a Jedi to use it. You got to communicate with the lightsaber.
Oh, I didn't know that part. So that's probably not known to a lot of fans, though.
The reason
why until today.
The reason why the Sith's lightsabers are red, they make the crystal bleed.
Now is that part of like comic lore?
No, that was set up to be general lore for the lightsabers.
Huh. I don't think that's common knowledge, though. I didn't know.
But who knows with Lucasfilm now?
Well, also, Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren's. Everybody was wondering why Kylo Ren's lightsaber acted the way it did. They're saying because the crystal was broken.
Really?
Yeah.
Makes sense. If the crystal's shattered, it would be unstable like that.
Or cracked or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
They could actually work with that too. Like when he was trying to corrupt the lightsaber crystal, the Kyber saber crystal.
Yeah.
And he cracked it. He went too far. But making the Death Stars like cannon be powered by a Kyber crystal, that was stupid.
That's fair.
So the Death Star is basically a giant lightsaber.
Oh, movies. So, random question for you: have you seen the video yet for the new what's called Masterpiece Skyfire Jetfire?
I have. I didn't watch the video, but I've seen the pictures and everything on it.
What do you think?
I got Fans Toys Phoenix, and I'm sticking with that.
Yeah. How much was Fans Toys Phoenix when it was like original retail? I can't remember. Was it a few $100?
I think it was like $200 or something like that.
Okay.
But I bought mine through Chosen Prime, and they got their great reward system. So I had like $50 in Prime points built up. So I got mine for like $150.
Nice.
So I'm not replacing mine.
Yeah, I never picked it up. I picked up the Siege Jetfire, and for me, like at the time, that was good enough. But I've put in a pre-order for the Masterpiece one, the new one.
The Masterpiece is a beautiful figure, but
It's gorgeous. It's gonna be pricey though.
yeah, I just don't feel the need to spend and replace Phoenix when Phoenix is gorgeous.
Okay, which do you have a version of Springer in your collection?
I do. I got Fans Toys
Apache.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got him too, but I was thinking about switching out for the X Transbots because it's way more tune accurate.
Oh, I haven't really looked at it too much.
I've watched a lot of videos. There are some issues with like shoulder chipping and stuff, but X Transbots said that they're going to be reissuing shoulder pieces that will solve the problem. And then I saw some people like they also modified the ratchets in the hips so that it doesn't have to stand with an A stance.
Okay.
So like I don't know, all the things that I thought were problematic, and I was like, I don't know if I want to buy that. Now there are people like Tiger Blade's Lab in the UK. He's a great dude. He did a bunch of fixes on it as well, and it looks fantastic. And he's always about the cartoon aesthetic. Like he modifies his figures to be more cartoon, like to have more of a cartoon aesthetic too. And like he's solid when it comes to all that, like customizing Transformers. And he bought it, and he sort of modified it according to somebody online that would put up some like how-tos in terms of modifications for it.
I have a buddy of mine that's big in the Masterpiece Transformers, and he is big on the toon aesthetics. So he's all in on the Takara Skyfire.
Oh, nice. So he'll go. Yeah, like I think I pre-ordered the Outrider.
He'll do that one too.
I pre-ordered Outrider, but I also ordered the official Trailbreaker.
It looks nice too.
I know. It's hard when like even with the Fans Toys Tesla, I ordered the Jansen as well, and I have both. But it's like, how do I can't just keep doubling up on all these figures. It's just so bloody expensive.
When they come up with better versions, I actually started a second Autobot shelf.
Oh, nice.
They end up coming out with better versions.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, I'll split the characters up between the two shelves.
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking about selling some of them, but then sometimes the market value just goes down so much it's not even worth it.
Yeah, that first Tesla, that thing used to go for crazy money.
Oh yeah, I remember a guy I think I offered him $150 for it. It was before it really shot up in price, and he just like shrugged me off. He's like, "Come back at the end of the show," and like he was just being rude. And I was like, "Okay, like I know you want like 200 for it or something, but like 150 was a decent offer." But then the guy was just super rude. And then that thing, I'm happy I didn't end up buying it because it had so many problems with like plastic chipping and cracking and
horrible faces too.
Oh yeah. I saw the Inferno upgrade where they used an Inferno base on it.
Yeah, I actually did made it like a little adapter out of styrene because I don't do 3D part printing. I was able to fabricate a styrene piece like a adapter where I can use extra grapple faces on my Tesla version 1.
Yeah, that's the essentially the same sort of thing, right?
Yep. I actually did mine before anybody did a 3D print one. The adapters.
I used the KO Inferno as the face for my. Which figure did I use it on? I think I used it on the Sharkticon that I built, and I used it for the what was the other one? Autobot X, I think, as well. But I made a mold for the Autobot X out of Ultra Magnus's faces, and then I modified the face to be angrier, like the eyes to be angrier.
Talk about the upgrade. X Transbots Ultra Magnus looks great.
It does. Did you see the comparison pics? Like, it's a little bit smaller than the official.
I like that too. I think the Takara Ultra Magnus is too big.
Yeah, I think it looks good. It looks really good.
And they were like, it's got to be that big to be the same size of Optimus and carry so many cars. It's like, I don't care. I want his robot mode. I'm going to display my Masterpiece Transformers mostly in robot mode.
Yeah. Same.
I want their robot modes to look and scale with each other. If you're going to try to make all the vehicles in scale, you've already messed up.
Okay, so question for you. Which do you have? Have you bought the Masterpiece Starscream and the Seekers, like the official ones, or did you buy the DS ones?
The DS ones are nice, but I got burned out on buying Seekers. I bought the reissue of MP11, and I got the Make Toy Starscream. I didn't get the other ones, but I got so many Seekers on the between the MP3 and MP11 molds. I'm good. I don't need any more because they won't fix the size. The decoration I like because they're bigger.
Yeah.
But I didn't get them because I'm burned out buying. I don't need more Masterpiece Seekers.
Yeah, there are a lot of them. I mean, I've got all the Make Toys. I've got the one Make Toys Conehead as well.
The Make Toys are beautiful.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. But then again, the official one looks so good. Like in comparison, like it's just like you stepped off the screen.
Yeah. My biggest issue is I always thought they were too small.
Which ones? Make Toys?
The Make.
But then I can't remember if they're the same size as the new, like the MP52 mold or not. I have both, but I've just never had them beside one another.
The deformation ones, they're bigger.
Those are bigger, but the Make Toys, are they the same size as the official?
Yep.
Okay.
So it's like, well, that's not an upgrade. It looks beautiful, the Make Toys one, but I want a size upgrade.
Yeah, that's fair.
And when the deformations come out, that's after a time where I'm kind of like, kind of tired of these. I got burned out on them.
Speaking of burnt out, I'm burning out on making these hands. I'm actually going to run out of filament here, as I'm using filament as the peg for the fingers, and I'm starting to run out of it. Oh, I've made 6 arms, and I'm just tired of it. Ooh, what time is it? Oh man, it's already been on here for an hour and a half. Holy cows.
I'm fast.
Yeah. I might make a couple more and then I might bounce.
That's all right.
I think I'm reaching my quota of like sitting here making things. You ever get to that point where you're like, man, I got to take a break or I'm going to burn out and not be able to sleep? Or like when you just get tired of customizing, you're like, nah, not today.
Yeah, you got to take breaks. Even your hobbies can burn you out sometimes if you try to. Well, especially like when you're making so many of the same things. Like I got burned out on making Hulks.
Oh yeah, those head sculpts. I really appreciate you offering those up. I know the one guy from our group that Dom and I are in. He's like, "Oh man, how did you get him to like send you some sculpts?" I'm like, "I don't know. We talk." Like, I go live on his channel sometimes and talk about customs and things. Like I make friends. That's how. Yep. So he was super appreciative when I told him. I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'll be able to get you those head sculpts." And he was like, "Oh, no way!" Like, because I guess he had messaged you and you said that you weren't going to do them for a while, but when he found out that I could get them, he was like, "Holy crap!"
Okay, cool. I think he might message me when I didn't have any material.
Yeah, it was. His name on Facebook is like, I think it's. I can't remember how to pronounce it. He said it was the Greek way of saying Johnny, like Iones Chow.
Okay, I probably got a message with him. At the time, I was like, I was out of material and I was dealing like with doctor stuff. So.
Oh no, it's all good. I'm not judging you for it. I know how it goes, especially when it's somebody that you don't know and you're like, I'm busy right now.
Yeah,
who won it?
What's that?
Who won of them? Jericho?
No, you know Johnny?
Oh,
Johnny?
in our little chat group there? Or?
No, he's not in the chat, but he's on the group.
Okay.
He's been there for a while. He's helped me out a few times with some stuff, and like he just like gave me all of the chameleon head sculpts one time because I asked to borrow them so I could copy them.
Oh yeah.
Like make copies to make a figure with because the chameleon was going for stupid amounts of money, and I was just like, I just need one for a custom. And then he's just like, whatever, just keep it. So he's done nice things for me in the past like that, right? So
I sold my extra chameleons because of that. Well, actually, I actually sold my extra chameleon because of that. Then I sold my regular chameleon because of that. Because they're going to make a classic chameleon eventually.
Oh, they're going to do one on the retro card, I bet.
They got to.
How many Hulk heads are you getting, Jared?
I think it was just one of each one. I think.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think they're just like all unpainted, one of each one that you have, like the different sizes and stuff. They aren't for me, but I mean, maybe down the road when I finally get back to customizing Marvel Legends, it'll be for me.
I need to get the package fixed up for it and shipped out with all your stuff and Dom's.
Oh yeah. Dom, are you just getting that all shipped to your house then?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's easier. And then I can just shoot you some money for shipping.
No, it's coming to my place anyway, so I'm just gonna meet up with you. Just hand them out.
But you know that's just gonna come back at some other point in time, right?
Just let me know the final number of heads and stuff I need to get together.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, we can pass it on to Dom, and then he can just message you the rest of the details.
Yeah.
Get the final count or whatever. I told some of the guys about it, and they're like, "Oh, that sounds great." So they seem like they're really into it.
Cool. I've been trying to make sure they're clean as possible.
That's all good. If they're not clean, they're not clean. It's an unfinished, unpainted head sculpt. That's how they are. I made.
I try to take care of like really little air bubble things, like in the faces and stuff. So I'll take some epoxy and fill in little spots.
Oh yeah. I have. Hang on, let me find them. I'll show you. Do you have the Sandman? Do you collect Marvel, like all the Marvel?
Oh yeah.
So I haven't finished these, but what I did was I made a couple of molds. I'm going to see if I can see it on the thing here or not. But I made some molds, and I don't know if it's going to zoom in on this or.
Oh yeah.
So I made it so that he has the stoic face when it's not blown apart, and then he's got the angry face.
Oh, I think I remember seeing those on the Instagram.
Yeah, so it's just the opposite. That's how it should have came.
Yeah, that makes much more sense.
Yeah, so I'm sure I've got a few casts of it. If not, I can make some casts for you and can send them back your way if you want.
Yeah, that worked out because I got a bunch of stuff for Dom and he's got some stuff for me. And
yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say,
that's why I'm not worrying about shipping because I got to pay for shipping to send his stuff. He got to pay shipping to send my stuff. So
perfect. Now, are you interested in like the Sharkticon at all?
Things are pretty sweet, man. Yeah.
Well, you don't have to make a decision now, but if at some point in time you want me to make you one, I'll make you one.
You need to take one that you're working on now to get ready for this weekend and ship it to me now.
Nope. I've actually got two of them that I have for this weekend. I've got some friends who are coming to TFcon, and they're like, "Man, can I get one of those from you? Like, I'll buy it from you right now." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Like, that's fine." So, like, a couple of them are kind of pre-sold already, but
gotcha.
But that's like people who have helped me out before, and I'm like, I'm still not making any more than that. Like, technically there are 16 of them because the one that I sent to the reviewer, so he's got one, and then these other 15 that I'm making, and the gold one. The gold one's fun. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, and then when things started failing and prints started failing and stuff, I'm like, oh no, what have I done? Because I took some time to just make that one in between. I'm like, okay, now I'm just going to make an entire gold one. But I still made it in all the various pieces instead of doing the body all as one piece. The back shell, it's made the exact same way these other ones are made. And it is time consuming.
Okay, well, we got these missiles for Dirge and Ramjet done.
Nice. Let's see.
We got Ramjet's missiles, and we got Dirges. Like Ramjets are like fatter, shorter, and they're blast effect compatible too. So you can still use the blast effects they got with like all the new Transformer stuff.
Oh, nice. That's great design then.
And they're hinged too, like where you can once you get them on the figure.
You ever
Pose them
you
out.
ever looked at any of the like on the 3D printing side of stuff? Like I think there was Funbee Studios. He has a lot of cool stuff. I've talked to that guy a bunch, or that person a bunch, and they've been helpful. The other thing that got me into 3D printing was Toy Maker 3D.
Mm-hmm. I haven't really got into back before I got into like really hardcore customizing action figures. I customized Transformers more than anything.
Oh, cool.
So I used to get like some of the early Shapeways kits and stuff and work on those.
Oh yeah, that stuff was expensive, wasn't it? Like Shapeways was expensive.
Yeah, and really looking back, the qualities weren't really there. What you can do now.
Yeah, for sure.
I ended up like had like a classic Optimus Prime that I ended up stripping the parts I got from Shapeways off it. Because I think I'm gonna get, if they're still available, the Fans Projects, the last armor, like one of the things that Fans Projects is what people don't, or one of the first companies to kick off third party.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
And their last kit for Classics Prime, last time I checked on Big Bad Toy Store, was like $15.
Really?
And let me see if I can find it. I got my keyboard in an awkward place. It's hard to type.
That's okay. I'm watching the stream on my phone because I can't see the other side of the iPad. And my phone's gonna die before the before the iPad does.
Share screen. No. The Parallax Red Armor.
Oh, okay. I think I know those.
They were $40. They were higher than that when they first came out, and then we got marked down to $40. Now they're $15.
I guess nobody wants them, right?
Well, they come out so. This mold is hard to get a figure, so it's
Well, when you're hanging on to the product for so long, you just want to liquidate to get some kind of money back from it, right?
Yeah, I have one already, but where I used that one to make a custom, I was like, well, it'd be kind of cool. We could just get another one of these kits that are so cheap and just make another one and put in vehicle mode and hook up like their trailer, the Fans Project.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
Trailer. It's a nice thing. Their original like trailer, like the Ultra Magnus armor, fantastic. Oh, it's like a parts forming, but I don't care. This don't part. This actually transforms with the truck.
I think the problem is that most of the way that third party stuff has gone is more towards that cartoon aesthetic. And that's where most people the market is sort of dictating, right? Whereas before, a lot of this stuff would sell, and now that everything's sort of pushing that toon aesthetic, that stuff doesn't really sell, so they have no choice but to mark it down to appeal to, say, people like us that can customize or that want to use it for something else other than its original intended purpose, right?
And for when the third party first kicked off too, with fan projects basically set the aesthetics too, like we need to make sure they look the character, but they can't be 100%, or we can get in trouble legally. So they make them just different enough where we know it's them, but it's the character.
Yeah, it's the likeness. Well, my wife works in design, and she was saying that in order, for copyright and stuff, because she deals with a lot of that stuff in terms of design, she designs accessories, like women's accessories.
Yeah.
But she said that in order to pass copyright, it has to have 7 distinct differences from the original, and then it can pass copyright. So, like, a lot of these third-party companies, when they're like, "Oh, Jakara Tomi's coming after them and stuff," it's like, okay, but
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine what the legalities of that, because you're still creating a likeness, but if you're not necessarily caught, like, you're creating your own engineering behind the product. It's kind of like the Studio Cell Unicron. They didn't ship the head with it because that the body is a likeness of something, but then, you know, the head itself was not associated with them, so they're trying to get around being sued, because that was the time when the HasLab Unicron was coming out.
Yeah, it was timed right at the HasLab when Studio Cell by far is a better looking figure than the HasLab.
Yeah, if it were only just bigger, right?
Yeah, for some reason they made it smaller than their combiners.
Really?
When it's in robot mode, it's shorter than their combiners.
I still haven't even opened mine.
I never got it
in a box.
It is a great looking piece, and I like Titan size figures. Just my spending has changed over the years. If it came out like 2 or 3 years prior, I would have snatched up in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But it's just.
Have you seen the Metroplex, the Like Toys Metroplex?
Oh yeah, that thing's huge.
That thing's a beast.
It looks like it's going to be on par with Fans Toys.
Yeah,
Ultramanus.
the Fort Max for sure.
Maybe not Ultramanus. Well, that's the one.
But the frontman for them said that they're trying to keep it in the $1,000 range or something, and I was like, oh man, even at $1,000, like, that's going to be out of the reach of a lot of collectors who may not have any money, right?
Yeah. That's one thing that they could actually do with fans. I like how Fans Projects did with Omega Supreme. They broke it up in 2 pieces.
Yeah.
And so you get different releases. But,
Well, I think that's probably what will end up happening with the Fans Toys Sport Max, I bet.
hopefully they don't go. They keep on this current model they're on too, where we get a Fans Project release every month.
Oh, the Fans Toys, you mean?
Yeah, Fans Toys. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, like their Outrider, they released that strategically because, you know, the official was coming out, and then they mislabeled it on purpose so that to avoid any kind of copyright type stuff.
Even the bio in the box, it's Tesla's bio.
Yeah, they did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, it's all, like, it's strategic, right? Like, you don't want to get sued by one of these big companies. So.
Yeah, well, I guess there a lot of them are gun shy too with what happened with did the MPP-10 Black Mamba?
Yep.
They got raided, and a lot of some other people got put in jail.
Oh, really, eh? Wow.
The MPP, some of the team are back, because I've seen they're still under a different company. They're doing MPP-10s. Under a different company.
Yeah, well, did you see the discount on all of the, what is it? Like, all those DS Seekers and all of their products were all super highly discounted not too long ago. They went down, like, all their Seekers are down to, I think, even, like, $70 on Show Z. And the DS Blaster or the Recording Alliance was also down in price too.
Huh.
Yeah, you should check it out. Like, if it's something that, like, they're on sale right now for like a fraction of what they originally cost when they first came out.
I have to look into that, because that's the big thing. I didn't get them because I didn't want to spend the money on them because I already got so many Seekers. And
yeah, I'm pretty sure I think they're, don't quote me, it might be 74 or 79 US a piece now.
Huh. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like,
don't need to be spending money because I'm going to be getting the His Tank.
oh, nice. Yeah, my buddies were all talking about that, actually.
Yeah, that's all they're talking about.
Oh, well, and then the one guy had like a count of all the backers. I'm like, can we have a count maybe every 1,000? Because he was updating like every time like he looked at it, which was every like 10 minutes. It'd be like,
Yeah,
here 10 more and 10 more and 10 more. I'm like, okay, my
I
phone's
remember
just blowing up.
Yeah, when you posted that, you're like, my phone's blowing up. Can we get it every 1,000?
Yeah, like I get he's excited, so like I don't want to like I'm not trying to deter from that kind of
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
No.
But I was just like, oh man, like every time I looked, I'm like, it's just a number, like no words, just a number.
Oh yeah, my phone was blowing up too. Here I am driving a bus. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, it's the end of the world on your phone. Zombie apocalypse.
World as we know it.
REM, nice.
Yeah, I just have to go ahead and do that today. I was like, what the hell?
Have
When
you
they're
backed any of the other stuff, like the other HasLab stuff?
I'm getting Galactus.
Nice, I've heard good things about that figure.
Yeah,
They
Jared.
showed actual physical pictures of Morg. Like
Yeah, the one you sent me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing looks like I don't really collect all of the like that line or the Fantastic Four type stuff, but that's a figure where it's like, all right, that's actually looks really cool. Like I'd put that on a shelf against, something else, like another kind of like monsterish kind of shelf,
You know what? I would like to hopefully for them to re-release him like as a single figure.
Yeah, well, that would make a lot of people who bought the Galactus very upset, right?
Well, sorry, they did the same thing to everybody who got Kingpin or Rhino as a builder.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, like, I mean, you know what? If I have to deal with that, I'm talking about like way down the line, like maybe even what's her name there.
Well, do like a repaint and maybe even like some retooling or something other.
Well, what's oh my god,
Nova.
Nova.
The Frankie Nova.
Frankie Nova. That's what I want. I want Frankie Nova. Well, what other figures are there? There's Nova, Silver Surfer, and Morg, right?
Yeah, and I'd hate the last tier they did for Galactus.
Oh, the fucking Dr. Doom head.
What was it?
The Dr. Doom head.
Oh yeah, that appeals to like some people who are super into like the comics, I guess, right? But
nobody's going. People would love a Galen head, like the unmasked Galactus head.
Yeah,
people would have wanted that, but not a Dr. Doom head.
Yeah, I remember when the whole thing was going down with Galactus. That was going on our chat in our little chat like crazy. Galactus.
Oh yeah. Rob he loves Galactus and the Fantastic Four, and he was going nuts about it.
Yeah.
It's great to have like a nice community where people actually just want to talk about random stuff like that, and they have such varied opinions and perspectives on things. Like, my jam has always been Masterpiece Transformers, and then I started getting into Marvel Legends, and then I started getting into Star Wars Black Series, and then just blew up.
Well, I think you know what though. I know we're saying that a lot of people are like different opinions and stuff, but I think everybody agreed with that the Doctor Doom head for Galactus was a total waste,
which is trash.
And they thought they had to think it was such a great idea because they actually had one printed out to show on the last tier.
Yeah.
Oh, they showed the next tier for the his tank. It's going to be a weapons trailer.
Yeah, I think Chris posted that in our group.
Oh, I forgot. Y'all just mentioned he gives you every update.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I'm not opposed to it. I like it. I don't mind when people are sharing stuff they're passionate about. Like, I know I talk a lot about all the things that I make and I do, and it probably drives some of my friends absolutely nuts. But
yeah, but you want to know something though? Like when you got like a little chat like ours, it comes in handy because I mean, there's so many different lines now, and pretty like there's like even in Hasbro alone, we got Transformers, Star Wars, and Marvel. Like I mean, there's four major lines different for different collectors there, all under Hasbro's Hasbro's license. So it's like, if somebody's posting like all the news that they're getting, like, I mean, hey, I don't collect Transformers, and unfortunately, I'm not in. I didn't collect the Joes. I didn't start, but I'm regretting that. But you know what? I collect Marvel and Star Wars, so every time somebody posts anything Marvel, Star Wars related, it comes, it's good use to me. So
I'm gonna step away I'm gonna grab a box here in a second, and I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Sure.
So Dom, did you say you're gonna go to TFcon or no?
No. If I was collecting Transformers, I'd be there in a heartbeat.
I think it might have been Gord who said he was gonna go. And he's like, no. He's like, doesn't want to collect one more thing because he knows he'll get sucked into it.
One of us.
Exactly. One of us. I use that actually. I was saying that.
The Transformer community is like family.
Yeah.
Well, it can and it can be. I mean, some of those forums where people go off about like what's better, Bayverse or G1, and then they get all rowdy about it. And you're like, who cares? They're different generations. They're different. Like,
Yeah.
It's not the same universe. Like Optimus Prime wasn't made out of pistons. He was made out of giant blocks, like in G1.
What gets on my nerves more than anything, though, is the trash talk. I like all the generations.
Yeah.
I like all the generations of Transformers, but you gotta know G1 sells the best.
Yeah, because of nostalgia.
And all these people, it's like, I'm sick and tired of everything being G1. It's like, well,
that's the start. That's the OG.
It's like, why are you here? it's Transformers.
I just noticed a comment there from Alpha Proto. 3D printed henchmen. Like you're talking about, like my 3D printed figure here. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh yeah. And those droids that you showed me before that you made.
Oh, that was from Fun Beast Studios. Yeah, I think I've got it sitting over on my couch, but I tried to make articulated hands for it, and the hands didn't work out so great, and they're also a little bit too big. So the fingers kept popping off. They were originally designed for a Combiner Wars figure, and I printed them, and then it was just a bad news scenario.
I think you meant like 3D printed henchmen just to fill out like a Marvel
for Marvel?
play. Yeah.
I use a lot of the suited bodies. Like I've collected as many suited Marvel Legend bodies as I could possibly get. Like anytime somebody's selling figures and if there's a suited body, it doesn't matter which one. I'm like, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Like just for displays and stuff, right? Like it comes in super, super handy.
They should, you know what though? They should try to make a few more. You got what's his name? You got the Luke Cage,
Hammerhead.
Luke Cage and Hydro Man, and now Sandman is on that body. Like, I mean, types of figures that the characters are just wearing like T-shirts and jeans and stuff. You know what I mean? Like that'll also.
Well, I was thinking about too. I don't know if he got enough backers or not. Remember, Sharkticons was doing that street
Yeah.
guy, which they came up with regular heads, but also came up, I guess, for like a selling point was the mutated
alien type things.
Yeah. To me, the selling point was the fact they were just street thugs.
Yeah, like that. I don't know. Like I wouldn't have collected them for the alien type heads, but I could see some people liking it. I would have just like for regular just hoods. You know what I mean? Like guys from the street, stuff like that. I think that would have been a
where
selling
your
point.
heroes beat up.
Didn't Sharkticons Prime? Isn't he doing a series of figures like that where they could?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. It's
sorry. My wife was going to bed, so I had to just dip out for a second and talk.
Oh, no worries. Yeah. That's what Jared was saying is that because his selling point was like the alien type things, like I don't know, it's some kind of thing that he created, some line, but I prefer it for the regular human aspect of it. You know what I mean? It's like those would have been cool to have on the shelf just like that.
Yeah, for sure. But I guess he had to make it into a story too, because then when you're selling a product, you want to have a story to back it, because then it becomes more interesting to people buying, right? It's not just buying a generic figure; you're also buying into the expansion of a universe, I guess, that he's creating as well at the same time.
Fiction helps sell stuff.
It does.
Oh, for sure.
But I mean, like, there's
it's like the Valiverse stuff where I don't buy into comics. I'm not in to buy them all. I'll buy the interesting looking ones, and that's it. And like I bought the Sergeant Slaughters, I bought Tim Kennedy. Tim Kennedy's like a real guy, a military guy. So I bought him.
Yeah.
I like they're coming out with basic green soldiers.
Yeah, those would be good for us.
5 or something like that. So I'm gonna buy some of those because we got a ton of Cobra grunt like fodder troop builders, and hardly any Joe troop builders. No, zero troop builders.
So the other day I went and bought another bat. I have 3 already, but they came up on Amazon and I just like instinct bought it, like impulse bought it. I can't help it. I loved the bat as a kid, and like I could never find the actual figure that wasn't all broken up and stuff and missing pieces as a kid. And so there's something about like obviously robots that I enjoy. So I'm like, well, I'll just buy as many as I possibly can for this figure. Oh man. All right, I think I've reached my quota of as many arms that I can build. There are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs of arms that I've built tonight. Oh man, and still so many more to go.
You got another week, right?
These should be done before Wednesday, I think. Like the teeth will be an 18-hour print for all of the teeth, and I can glue them to the upper and lower jaw, and then glue the little spikes to the jaw or to the lower jaw on. So those are printed. And then I still have to print the belly, and the tails are all, the pieces to the tails are all printing right now. Those will be done by the morning. And then I have to print all of the spiky ball end. So like this little spike ball end. So what I originally did was I originally printed as one piece, and then I would just attach it, but it wasn't printing properly at the bottom. I don't know if it's in. It wasn't printing at the bottom here properly. So then some of the newer figures that I have, I switched over to a 2-piece. So it prints perfectly, or pretty much perfectly, on all sides, but it's split in half. Excuse me. So like you've got the articulation on the tail here, which is should probably look at the thing. But yeah, the articulation on the tail. But then the actual tail itself is 2 halves, and it makes it easier to print it. It makes it easier to like it just looks better. So things you learn over time, right? Like as you print stuff, you're like, oh, well, maybe I need to revisit this. So, anyways, I'm going to sign off now, but still want to give like another shout out to Madhouse Toys. That's going to be helping me out for TFcon, the Rusty Mechanic. So we've got that review coming up on Wednesday. He's going to release a full review of the figure that'll show all the articulation and everything. I haven't seen the video, so I have no idea. It'll be new to me at the same time as everybody else. I'm sure he'll offer some honest critique of it at the time. But yeah, those 2 guys are going to help out. I mean, and a huge, huge shout out to you, Collector Express, for having me on. It's been great, man.
Oh, absolutely. I enjoy learning more about the 3D printing stuff and helping out like the other fellow customizers got some cool stuff going in the works.
Yeah, man, no, it's appreciated. It's happening right before TFcon too. I've had some people from the States already reach out to me, and like they're like, yeah, I've got a buddy, he's gonna pick up a figure for me, and like I was super honest about all of the imperfections of the 3D printing. I was like, here, look at the bottom, this is what it's like. you know, it's not perfect. Like, so very open and very honest about what the figure is, that it is a garage kit. It's built in my basement kind of thing on a 3D printer.
You've been upfront from the very beginning with that, so
yeah, and I try to be, because the last thing I would want is for somebody to get something that I've made and go, ugh, I don't want this, right? Or feel deceived in some kind of way.
no, man, you know what? You went the best route, putting it on the bottom, because look at the way they're displayed right now. You're not even going to see it.
No, but I mean, like, even the edges, like on the sides here, which is one thing that Rusty Mechanic had pointed out. Sorry, I don't know if it's showing up on there or not. But like the edge of the mouth here, like it's a little jaggedy. But I mean, that's where the supports are when it prints, when the body prints. And
Yeah.
I mean, I can do it a slightly different way, but then it involves more steps. The other thing too about printing it in color is that not everybody's a customizer either. They're not going to want to sit there and paint an entire figure, or sand and smooth out every edge. And I think I got it to a point where it'll look good on the shelf the way it is.
Yep.
And if you want to spend extra time on it, or like rough it up, or, you know, like weather it, or do any kind of customizing on it, the opportunity is there, but it's also appealing to those who may not have those skills either, right?
Yeah. No, you know what? You did an amazing job on this thing.
Thanks, guys. It's still a work in progress. I mean, like, making these tiny little hands and arms are probably one of the most like frustrating things, because, like I said, like I've already broken 4 arms trying to assemble these, and so I'm gonna have to print those. But that's not a big deal. They're almost done. I've only got 3 more sets of hands to do. So
it could be worse.
Yeah.
You could have these big meat.
Wait, hang on. Have what?
These big meat hooks.
That's okay. I have like the world's like tiniest hands for a dude. It's totally fine. My friends make fun of me.
Those are perfect for customizing.
Yeah, getting into small places. Yeah. I can reach the stuff at the back of the fridge without tipping a lot of the stuff over. Nah, it's all good. I joke. But yeah, it's been great being on, man. I really appreciate it. I appreciate even people were looking at the image that you had for like, just for the work in progress, like all the graphic stuff that you did, like the Photoshop, and they're like, wow, that's a great picture. I'm like, I know, I didn't even do it. It's great. I mean, the Sharkticons, like, you know, the Marauder figure that I built, they looked great in that shot. So hopefully I know they'll all be done in time, but it's just, just sticking to the grind and getting these figures popped out and done and wrapped up in bubble wrap and into a bin to transport over. So,
one little thing, if you don't, I know you're going to be busy at your booth and selling. If you happen to get time to get some photos of like some of the prototypes or a video like walk around, love to get that and add to the channel.
Oh, like a walk around of TFcon?
A walk around TFcon and like their prototype booth they put up.
Oh yeah, I'll snap some pics for you. I know that. Like, I don't know how fast these will sell. I'm assuming that from the people I've shown them to, they'll go decently fast, hopefully. But I know that my buddy said that I didn't have to be.
Only if you get time. Like,
oh no, I'll have time. He said I didn't have to be around the booth the entire time. I'm going to try to help him sell his stuff too. The other thing I forgot to mention is that for people who might not want to buy a figure, the contest for the gold one, this wonderful piece of material here. So it's also, if you spend $20 with Madhouse, so if you're buying figures from Madhouse Toys, every $20 you spend, you get an entrance or like a ballot into the entrance to win it. So the draw, and we're most likely doing the draw on Sunday at TFcon, so you'd have to be there at TFcon in order to win. But yeah, there's that extra sort of little incentive there to come and help, you know, the person who's helping me out, kind of thing. So spend $20, you get a ballot. So, and I mean, otherwise they're $2 each, and that makes it affordable for even like a small child to be like, I really want that gold thing, right?
Yeah.
Trying to make it somewhat affordable for people, because I mean, I'd love to keep it, but I just like looking at it and then thinking like, this is kind of like a trophy. You know what I mean? Like, There's only one, and I'm not planning on making any more of them. So,
The one and only gold one.
Yeah, the Golden Lagoon or Golden. I don't know if I'm allowed to use that for copyright or whatever, but. Oh man, it's still so pointy. I just picked it up and it stabbed me.
Maybe not for little kids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. It's not. This is not something you give your toddler. That's for sure.
You'll put
But
your
anyways,
eye out
guys,
there.
I'm gonna take off. Pleasure seeing you both.
All right.
Yeah, thank you for stopping by, hanging out with us, and
Yeah, man. We'll do it again sometime soon. I'll let you know how the
building
rest
like
of the build
awesome
goes.
like 3D model kits, and I'm sitting there struggling to get this stupid belt on Dinobot. The Bandolier.
All right, guys. Good luck with it, eh?
Have a good night, bro.
All right.
Good.
See you guys.
And there were only 2.
Yeah, I was just about to say, and there was 2.
Trying to get the bandolier on just right to where it looks like the pictures, because these little pinholes need to be on the sides to hold be like holsters to hold weapons.
Yeah.
So I put it on the first time. It's like, damn it, wrong spot. I had it upside down, and bullets need to be pointing a certain way, and it don't help anything with trying to lay something through together with my giant fingers.
Yeah, smaller hands would help in this situation.
Nope. Yes, that's it. I got one bandolier on. Now I get the other one. There's one of the cool episodes from kickoff of season 2 of Beast Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Dinobot arms himself to the teeth with 2 bandolier bullet straps, a big rifle, and extra firearms to hold off the Predacons while they try to revive Optimus. They need to hold out long enough to survive. It's like an Old West theme too on the episode.
Yeah, the bandolier looks that way too.
There we go. I was a little overly ambitious with all these kits out. It's like, oh, I'll get these, knock these out, no problem tonight. It's like my big ass hands struggle with everything.
Yeah, no, I know the feeling too. You've done a bunch of the model kits too, the Dragon Ball and all that. So
Yeah, that's the reason why I got these nippers.
yeah,
Working on those figurized kits.
you want to hear something funny? Because the first few that I did for my nephew, they were the Dragon Ball ones. I didn't have any nippers, so I thought I was just gonna. I tried to buy something that would cut, right? But I didn't realize I've never done one before. Whatever I bought didn't work out, so I had to actually use my freaking nail to my thumbnail to go through the sprue.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, and I built like three bottle kits like that, just using my thumbnail.
That's cool. Got the big rifle.
That looks like the Rambo of Transformers.
Yeah. Dinobot was awesome. He's a cool character. How do these other weapons work? Well, I actually splitting the kit up too because it's got like replacement dino mode on hands.
Yeah.
To articulate, but when he's in robot mode, you don't need that. So I'm going to I bought 2 of these Dinobots, so I'll put one in beast mode and keep one in robot mode. That way I can have the articulated hands for his beast mode.
Oh, that's cool.
Slot on the side. little ball pegs go into these guns here. These are actually like Rat Trap's guns on the show. He uses them too for that episode. You can put one gun on one hit, another gun on the other hit.
Yeah, it's like a gunslinger from the West, eh?
Yep. I gotta put the on the other side. That way you can. There's a slot on both sides, so you can have your guns hanging the same way. Trim off the edge, a little sprue mark. It's not traditional customizing like we normally have on the show, but it's still customizing nonetheless. It's somewhat.
Sure it is.
So, there we got the two guns on his holster, like on his hips for holsters.
So it's cool.
Dinobot was a cool character on the show. Roar. All of a sudden, got like a big roar coming from your mic. Not quit.
Really?
Comes and goes right now. Weird. Wasn't doing it earlier. I like that. That finishes up Dinobot. It also came with a golden disc. That's key on the show. On display. Cool.
That's a cool little accessory.
It's like a big plot device on the show, like the golden disc.
Mm-hmm.
This is the golden disc that the Earth sent out on like one of the Voyagers, and actually has a message hidden by the G1 Megatron on the disc, telling like the future selves how they go back in time and change things. Is more Scorponok, a little Cyber Bee. This is something I'll never use. This is the episode where Dinobot dies. We're going to one of those little clips. I'll put that back in the box because I'm never going to use that. That's when they were needing to get codes from another character, and Black Arachnian dived into his mind to get it. This is actually a little from the tutorial videos from months ago. I did some part swappings with a Buzzworthy Bumblebee Black Arachnia.
Yeah.
Spider legs, panther feet. Made her more show accurate. The original Kingdom's Black Arachnia, they made her spider legs black, which they were this copper color on the show. So they did that Buzzworthy, which was a toy style deco of Black Arachnia. I just swapped the legs out and panther feet, and much more show accurate Black Arachnia.
Yeah, you did that video quite a while back.
Yeah. I think somebody copied it. And
Really?
they got the credit for it after they copied it for some reason, somehow.
Oh, jeez. I never understand that. You know, if you see something, you see a cool idea from another customizer or reviewer or whatever, like, just give them a freaking a nod for, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get that. Like,
Yeah. I'm missing a piece out of this kit. Oh, I bet that comes with the actual figure. Use that with it. Is it? Maybe. Yeah, I think there's supposed to be a B in this thing if it don't come with the figure. Let's look at it. Yeah, it comes with the figure. There's the B. Some of these kits are not very clear. What instructions? Got to do a little bit of deciphering. We're getting a lot of static coming from you right now.
Might be the fan here. How's that?
Better. Still a little bit. I don't know what changed all of a sudden. It was fine earlier.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even move either. I don't know what the.
Maybe just two of us that starts focusing on what we're. I hate this new packaging they're going through on these figures. I've seen that there's another kit I might have to get for this thing. Somebody did replacement legs or extensions because he is so stubby.
Yeah, he looks it. Wow.
Somebody did. I've seen another company, I think Go Better or something like that. They got leg extensions to make them more proportionate.
Yeah, he could use some longer legs though.
Way too short. That would be, yeah, plug the B in from the, comes with the figure. Put that into the claw. Yeah, I gotta get the leg extensions for this now. That looks terrible. I'm so behind on opening on stuff, never opened it up. It's like, whoa. It's like they put the wrong lower body on it.
You looking forward to Thor Love and Thunder coming out this week?
I don't know. Maybe. I've lost a lot of my zeal over the MCU after Endgame.
Yeah, you know what? I was just talking to my buddy Steve about that yesterday, saying after Endgame, the movies have been lacking.
They have been lacking a lot. Your main draw was Captain America and Iron Man and the Hulk, and especially Captain America and Iron Man. It's like they really focused the first part of the MCU about those two characters.
Yeah. And you know what? Like I said, it's after Endgame, like the Eternals. I don't know. That's kind of like the majority of people were never interested in them, even in the comics.
Yeah. I got almost 8,000 comic books. I do not have a single Eternals comic.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like nobody really wanted to. I don't know. There's the only good part about that movie was they mentioned that because of what Thanos did, he delayed the what do they call it,
the awakening or whatever it is.
Yeah, he delayed it by doing what he did. So, like, I mean, that was one thing that was related to.
Oh, well, the Infinity Stones should have been able enough to take out. When he had the full power of the Infinity Stones, why not just like kill the Eternal living in the planets?
Yeah.
Or
Well,
no, double
about
the size of everything in the world, in the universe. I mean,
yeah. And then what's it called? Shang-Chi. It was a decent movie. It was just, to me, it was just like a fun movie to watch, but it wasn't on par with Marvel movies like before, Endgame and previous, right?
Yeah.
Spider-Man. I think the best thing about the Spider-Man movie was Tobey and Andrew Garfield coming back.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like that was the highlight of that. And I just watched Doctor Strange. It was okay, but I don't know. It wasn't anything that special to me.
Yeah, I didn't really much care for it, but they made such light heart of killing off like characters people have been wanting to see in the MCU so much, and they just killed them off like they're nothing.
Yeah. Now with Thor, like I said, the good thing about Thor is, I remember you heard me a long time ago. What did I predict for the Thor movie? Do you remember a character who I said I have a feeling we're gonna see?
Herc.
That's right. I have a feeling Hercules for sure, because it's almost like a giveaway because it's stupid, right? But
If they're on Olympia, they gotta have Herc.
well, that's what I said. Hercules is going to be one of them, and if there's going to be another reveal character that we haven't seen yet, it's going to be Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray would be a good one to come in and help fight Gore.
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm saying, though. I just have a feeling that this is where we get introduced to Hercules. It has to be. I've been saying it for the longest time now. We have to get introduced to Hercules eventually, right? Why not now? The movie is basically about the MCU gods, and it's about that Olympus is there, right?
Olympus. Why would they not have Herc? At least mention Herc, and so talking about my son spends a lot of time on Earth. They can do something like that.
Yeah. Well, I guarantee he's going to be in the movie.
Hopefully, I hope they don't introduce him just to have Gore kill him.
No, gee, that'd be stupid. No, I think this is just their way of getting him into the mix now. But
I don't put them doing anything dumb like that, though.
Yeah, it's true. We'll see. Maybe I'm curious about what they're gonna do with just the whole story leading up to it, and even with the after credits too. Like, I mean, they're gonna show us the direction they're heading in, right? So
I did hear Korg is supposed to be pregnant in this.
Oh, jeez.
I thought you'd get a kick out of that.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Oh,
I bet Meek's the father.
Okay, I don't know how they reproduce in his whatever he is, Cronin. But how they reproduce
The rock creature. I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
In the comics, he's colored just like the Thing. He's orange.
Yeah, he's like a paler orange, right? Like almost like a yellowish orange, mustard.
Yep. And Thor killed all his brothers in the comics too.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, actually, I saw something about that where the first they tried to invade Earth. They sent like a little scout team, and they're saying that they ran into Thor. The only person they ran into was Thor, and Thor beat the living crap out of them. And they're saying that we can't invade that planet. that was just one of them. Meanwhile, they thought that all humans were as strong as Thor.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like that was their judgment of, oh, geez, those humans are stronger than we thought. We can't bother with them. But meanwhile, it was Thor that they ended up tangling with.
If you remember, the Dark World, he kills
That big one.
that one that looks just like one of his species.
Well, that's basically what he looked like in the Hulk comic.
Yeah.
The armor was down to a T. He had the same armor on and everything.
It looked like he killed a member of Korg's race in the Dark World.
Yeah. And that was a big one too. That was that. Like I said, everybody assumed that was Korg right away.
Yep.
Well, he was dressed like him.
He was dressed like him, and just like all like Groots are all named Groot. Yeah. It looked like Korg because the ones when they went to Earth, they didn't look like it. They didn't have the arena attire, like the gladiator attire.
Yeah.
In the comics, that was because of the gladiator pits on Sakaar.
Yeah, they were just.
Never did explain how the Hulk got to Sakaar.
Yeah, they just said that when Thor asked Hulk, oh, how'd you get here or whatever, he's like, Quinjet, like, they never really stated, like, and then a lot of people made the assumption that that proves that Valkyrie is stronger than the Hulk. Like, what do you mean? They're like, oh, because of what happened on Sakaar. I'm like, well, what happened on Sakaar? They didn't show anything.
Yeah,
like,
she never fought the Hulk.
Yeah, they're saying that basically the way she captured Thor was probably the way she captured the Hulk. And I'm like, you're assuming.
Well, one of the things too in the comics, when the Hulk went through the portal that took him to the car, it snapped half his strength.
Yeah.
In a weakened state when the Royal Guard actually took him down and put that
the disc on
him. And the discs are no joke. They were actually powerful enough to take down the Surfer.
The Hulk, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But you know what? But this is just another thing. That theory goes out the window to me. You know why? Hulk didn't have a disc on him, so he obviously wanted to be where he was.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure, like, they're saying all that the collector said was, "Oh, she brought me my my beloved champion." It doesn't mean that he didn't go willingly. Like, I mean, she didn't beat him to bring him there. He didn't have an obedience disc on him.
Yeah.
So it means that there was no struggle. So I don't know what the hell people are talking. Oh, people are like, "Oh, Valkyrie's stronger than the Hulk." I'm like, well, what do you mean? Where did you see that in the movie? Oh,
right there. Alpha Proto says right here, they were friends in the movie. That's how she brought him there.
Exactly. He liked her.
They were buddies. It's not that she fought and took him down.
Again, there was no obedience disc on him, so there was no need. There was no need for any of that.
It has a big old god of silver paint on the back spoiler when I opened it up. I was taking that off.
I'm still curious as to, like, a lot of people are thinking that they're trying to replace, like, most of the original cast, whereas what they did with Hawkeye, a lot of people think that Jeremy Renner's done with the movies. Well, they never really made that clear. Like, they didn't say anything. I know he wanted to be with his family and all, but so they're going to replace him with Kate Bishop, and now they're saying that Captain America was replaced. He says
I don't mind like Captain America being replaced, but they should have followed the comics.
Yeah.
Falcon didn't become the Cap until like recent few years.
Yeah.
When Cap originally died, Bucky took over the mantle, and it's one of the most iconic looking costumes too for Captain the Bucky Cap. That chrome and black suit, chrome blue and black.
Yep.
Such a beautiful design, and he was a good Captain America.
Yeah, well, see what I'm saying? Those they replaced Cap. They're looking to replace Iron Man. Like that's what they say that Black Widow's being replaced by Yelena.
Yeah.
What's her?
You know what they're doing? They're replacing them with actors that take smaller salaries.
Yeah, I know. And they're saying that Thor is this basically him being replaced by Natalie Portman now? Like,
I just don't see her. I was kind of surprised they got her back because she said she was pretty well done with doing superhero movies. Unless she was offered her some good chunk of change to come back.
Well, you know what though, they could have gotten anybody to replace her, really.
The all new, all different Marvel run is going on the screen. Yeah, that run nearly destroyed Marvel Comics too, which it was. The issue was they were like replacing all the characters and getting rid of the main. You read Iron Man, pick up an Iron Man book when you got Ironheart. You pick up a Hulk book, you got Braun on Amadeus Cho. You pick up Hawkeye, you got Kate Bishop. Like, people want to pick up a book and read the characters that it's on. If they were going to do that on the big screen, they should have timed it up with the comics too, because newbies that were reading or watching the movies, go to pick up a comic book. Well, this is not the character in the movie.
Exactly.
You got it. That's why I never understood Marvel could have done like tie-in stories in the comics to work with the MCU, because you got these gaps in between stories, like in between Avengers 1 and Avengers 2. They could like do some comics in between, like add to the story. It adds to if you pick up the book, it can add to the story, but it doesn't. You don't need to pick up the book to watch the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that seems like it would be ideal.
Yeah.
But, well, I know.
I'm just saying though, like, you know what? If they're gonna do that, if they're trying to get rid of, like Chris Hemsworth is still saying, he goes, "I'll keep playing Thor as long as they'll have me." He goes, I don't want out. He goes, I'm not looking for an out. He goes, I want to be Thor. So,
yeah.
Even Mark Ruffalo, like, yeah, I know, like Mark Ruffalo too. Like, he has no problem playing the part. He likes playing the part. But I mean, like, what are you trying to do now? Are you trying to get rid of him, like, by introducing She-Hulk? I know there was a rumor a while back, like, when they first talked about the She-Hulk show, there was a rumor saying that they're going to use this show to kill off Banner. It's like, well, yeah, he obviously. I know the MCU is different from the comics, but how are you going to kill off that character?
Yeah. I'm hoping we can get a true like Hulk story, an individual movie story again. I would love to see something like World War Hulk or something like that. World War Hulk was one of the best overarching like big storylines they did in the comics.
Yeah. Well, the last few Hulk runs have been good from what everybody's saying.
They've been good, but but we don't need to do the modern stuff now. Like you got from 1960 to now to pull from, but they don't want to pull from storylines that people actually like. Well, I'm saying nobody don't like these stories here, but don't jump to the end. Tell other stories. Save like your current stories till like several years down the road.
Well, did you hear what Mark Ruffalo said to Kevin Feige there? Like he said that they were together at one of the I don't know, an award show or something. This is going back a while, and Kevin Feige like looks at Mark Ruffalo and he's like, "So what do you think?" He goes, "What do you think of the Hulk? Like, pretty much done or what?" And Mark Ruffalo looked at him and says, "Hey," he goes, "There is so much we can do with the character still." And then Feige was like, "Okay, you know what? Come to my office. We'll talk."
Oh, I really want to see the return of the Savage Hulk.
Yeah.
As much as I like the comic book version of the Professor Hulk,
No, they didn't do him justice.
the MCU version of Professor Hulk is not the Professor Hulk.
No.
Yeah, they have time-tested stories to draw from.
Yep.
All the Batman movies draw from the most popular Batman comics now, and it works. Yeah, that you got a huge history to pull from. That's what Lucasfilm screwed up with. They come in, it's like, and then lied about it. It's like, well, after all their stuff screwed up, it's like, well, we don't have all the rich history like Marvel to pull from. It's like, yeah, you do.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's like you're the one who came in and said, no, none of this matters.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking of. Like that the whole Professor Hulk that they tried giving us in the MCU is nothing like what he should have been.
Yeah, that's what me and Don were talking about before. Like in Endgame, when the Ancient One separated the Hulk from Banner, the Hulk body should not have been dormant. That would have released the Hulk. They're two different individuals. They're not one person.
Exactly. Banner is basically what keeps the Hulk.
And they didn't really. The Professor Hulk wasn't earned in the MCU either, because that was a long struggle. They never even introduced like the Joe Fixit. That would have been a great thing to do. And like when he's trying to gain control, and then you get Joe Fixit.
Yeah, they're saying we probably won't be able to see a single Hulk movie, other than if they are going to do it. Probably their next step is going to be World War Hulk. But like, I mean, it was, World War Hulk was one of the best stories, like you said. It was like one of the best of of the Hulk, of the whole Hulk lore, right? But
yeah,
at the time,
you had the Great Planet Hulk storyline. Then you had War Hulk followed it up.
Yeah,
and the World War Hulk encompassed the entire like Marvel run of comics.
Exactly, but you know what though? Like, I mean, I have a feeling that if they do that, they're basically gonna make Hulk out to be a villain type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Scarlet Witch was straight up the villain in Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
she murdered countless people.
Yeah, like, I mean, no holding back either. Like, I mean, how did she turn? Like, I understand they're saying that she's basically she became the Scarlet Witch, right? Like, a lot of people say, okay, yeah, she was basically possessed, right? But at the same time, how did she go from being an Avenger to that? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, it seemed like the WandaVision didn't give us the evil lead. She got the upgrade at the end of WandaVision, power upgrade, but we didn't get the evil turn.
Well, you know what that was? Did you see the after credit scene?
Oh, the Darkhold stuff?
Of WandaVision, the after credit scene, like the very end,
where she's reading the Darkhold.
Yeah, and basically it shows the Scarlet Witch is controlling her. It shows a regular Wanda, and Scarlet Witch is controlling her in the background. And yeah, it's and yeah, it has something to do with the Darkhold too. But I mean, it basically showed you what this movie showed us, where Scarlet Witch is controlling a Wanda, but you didn't realize what was going on until you watched the movie here. Like I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, why are there two of them there? You know what I mean? Like,
Okay. I dropped one of my parts in the floor. I'll have to find it later. It's for my Trailbreaker kit. I think this is going to be the last kit I do for tonight. No, that was not... Okay. That was not regular Wanda. That was a projection. Okay. Yeah, that's my biggest thing. We didn't get to see the heel turn for Wanda. He just starts out the movie as the villain.
and that was another thing. I was talking with my buddy Steve. Like, you know what? They kind of gave it to you. Okay, you know what? I'll say this ahead of time for people that haven't watched Doctor Strange. I'll give you a second to, if you don't want to hear what I'm about to say. But I'm pretty sure it's not really a big spoiler. But you remember when Doctor Strange first went to go see her?
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched the movie. I've seen it.
Yeah. Okay. So Doctor Strange, he went to go see her, and he figured out just right then and there that, remember, because she said her name. Why don't you just bring America here? And he's like, I never told you her name or whatever.
Oh, he freezes up, and then she's like, you didn't tell me her name, did you?
Yeah. And
nope.
You know what? Yeah. You know what? What my buddy was saying, which is true. They just gave it to you.
Oh yeah, they immediately did not let build up for it anything. It's like, oh, one is the villain right now.
Like, they could have made that happen towards the end of the movie.
Yeah. Alpha Proto was like, I've never cared for Scarlet Witch. I started reading comics after New Avengers and after Disassembled, where so I've already seen her as a villain. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, and it was like in the comics, it never made sense too. It was like she got this weird, crazy power up. She never was that powerful to begin with, and all of a sudden, like, they decided to make her one of the most powerful characters in comics.
Yeah, I'm saying she can alter reality and do all
she
this.
Had like a hex power, so it makes almost like a bad luck power type thing. Then she went to be reality altering, like super powerful type character. Like,
yeah.
What?
I don't know. You know what? That's what I'm saying. It's one of those things where they power somebody up too much, and then it's almost like people are expecting that. Like,
yeah,
how are you going to contend with that, really?
Yeah. I like having these biggest issue, like this is one of my favorite things for like upgrade kits for Transformers, so like the mainline figures. They have all these big panel gaps, so they make you use cleans it up. That's one of the ones that dropped in the floor is when it goes in this forearm piece. Look for it later. Yeah. Well, that sucks. Sometimes you get run into that too, like these. They're too loose, and you gotta add a little touch of glue. Yeah, the roar's back on your end. That one don't really do a whole lot. It sits in almost about too deep.
You got to find that other piece.
Yeah, I'll look for it tomorrow. Look for it somewhere. I'm off tomorrow, so.
Yeah, we had Friday off for Canada Day. I know you guys had the Monday off. It's like I don't even realize where the damn 3 days went.
Somebody stole it. Keon, send me a picture of Custom. Come on back on here. I mean, Billy Customs. Sorry. Get back on here.
We're getting close to that 3-hour mark. Jeez.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's why I figured I was going to just finish up on this kit here.
Yeah.
Well, where does this go? More like Trailbreaker now. Got us one laser hand. Take the hand off with the laser hand on.
Oh, another thing my buddy was telling me yesterday. We were talking about like the whole when they were doing the Amazing Spider-Man there with Andrew Garfield.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, as soon as they finished the part 2, and then all of a sudden Marvel got the rights to Spider-Man and they hired Tom Holland and they just ditched Andrew Garfield, and everyone was like, oh yeah, you know, everybody was all excited and whatever. And then when they finally introduced Andrew Garfield back in, people are like, oh yeah, well, he was great as Spider-Man and we want to see him. And now they're talking about, Sony's talking about continuing where they left off with the Sinister Six.
I think it would actually be a good idea. Like if there's a big issue of using Tom Holland, like within the Sonyverse, just let Andrew Garfield be the Spider-Man for the Sonyverse.
Exactly.
He was fine as Spider-Man. I didn't like him as Peter Parker, but I liked him as Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
I didn't mind him at all. Like for the part, I think he was like people.
The only issue I had with him was as Spider-Man, he's too cool. Peter Parker, he's too cool.
Yeah.
Peter Parker's a dork. Even after he gets his powers, he's not a cool guy.
Yeah. But yeah, you know what? I think he was good, and they were lining it up perfectly.
Really, the biggest issue with the Garfield Spider-Man was how they treated his villains.
Yeah.
They kept changing them too much. They were not his villain. Not at least not how we were used to interpreting them. The changes they made to how Electro should have been portrayed in Garfield's movie.
Yeah.
Not some bumbling nerd that got tragically turned into. Like they gave him the Catwoman origin from Batman Returns.
Yeah.
But no, he wasn't a weird geeky dude that gets powers.
You know what though? I think they had that bad habit with all the Spider-Man movies, Maguire, Garfield, and even Holland. They're the villains in all those Spider-Man movies are basically just misunderstood people. Other than
Well, they're doing that even more so in the MCU now.
Yeah.
All the Disney Plus villains, they want them to be misunderstood people. They treat it. They treat what John Walker did as more villainous than the actual villains of the movie. John Walker was justified what he did. They just killed his best friend and partner, and he killed a terrorist that was involved in killing people and his partner.
And they made him out to be the bad guy.
He was in grief and shock when he did that.
Yeah. Like you want to know something?
Like he did such horrible thing. They were terrorists.
You know why though? It's because I can see the reason behind that is like he was supposed to be representing Captain America.
Yeah.
So Captain America wouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you're right though. Like I mean, they made the villain.
Captain America has never been the comic book Captain America, like the 616 Captain America. The original origins of MCU were very closely like copying the Ultimate Verse.
Yeah.
And that Captain America killed people.
That's true. Well, he was killing people in the first Avenger too.
Yep, he was. He had a gun, killing Nazis.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying though. It's like, you know what? These people that they tried making us sympathize with, they were terrorists and they were killing people.
Yeah, and their reasoning for being terrorists, they didn't want to give up the free stuff they got when everybody died. And when they came back, they didn't want to give it up. That was their reasoning for terrorism.
Yes. So stupid. It's like, why can't we have a bad guy that people just love to hate? You know what I mean? Like,
oh, that's it. Sometimes bad guys just need to be bad guys.
They're
like they were trying to justify Wanda's actions. Well, my children, your children didn't exist. They were made up.
Yeah. And here's another thing too. What my buddy was saying. So does that mean all the children of all the different Wandas were all made up?
You know what I mean? Like that Wanda that she possessed was doing the entire thing. What she did, same house, same everything.
So the children were fake. So she's basically trying to steal children that another Wanda made up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were never real.
Yeah. And it seemed like that at the end too. If people are still watching and haven't seen one of it, Doctor Strange 2, I'll give you a fair warning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, spoilers. It looks like she dies at the end.
Yeah.
So.
And here's a point that my friend made. Are people going to be gunning for that other Wanda now? Because she was the actual one. That I know she was possessed, but she was the physical one that killed off everybody.
Right.
So is she going to be gunned after? Are they gunning for her or
the people of that universe where she killed all those heroes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big question.
Yeah, technically it wasn't her. It was a 616 Wanda that possessed her.
But that's another thing that the MCU is not 616. They shouldn't have not said that because it's clearly not 616. It's its own universe, independent from the comics.
Yeah.
A little filler piece that goes in there, it fills in the gap, makes it a little cleaner. Figure out how to put the jetpack on. Keep knocking stuff over. I think it means it's getting close to call it quits. Okay. Move in here. Okay, that gives them this jetpack. You can use these as thrusters. Yeah. Give them a jetpack from the cartoon. Not use the rest of the parts. Because Morningstar, which is cool. Which actually can give some of these to the other. I got two of these. This was the Netflix colored one. It was a Walmart exclusive. Mm-hmm. And there's another one that was the regular Kingdom release, a slightly different color scheme, so I can actually use some extra parts I'm not going to use on this one on that one.
That use for
I can just set the rest of the side, and I'm not going to do the rest for now. Oh, Doctor Strange 2. Okay. We got. That's what Loki was at the first, wasn't he? Just a villain people love to hate. Yeah, he did. He was. Then they tried to make him into a sympathetic character.
Yeah.
He was just straight up villain. And that was great until they start changing the character. With him, it's fine. They let him start growing a bit as a character. You start to realize what he's been doing. I think Freya, her death really helped change him.
Yeah.
People don't give the Dark World enough credit on some of the stuff. It was the strongest movie in the MCU, but they did a lot for the character to grow. The dumbest thing was when they had the professor going crazy.
Yeah.
It's odd that they called it M1. Yeah, it's so odd that they called it MCU 616 Doctor Strange 2. Zero called it 616 when he made that up. He was from another dimension, and it was a cover story. Yeah. One thing I'd love to see them do. I find it weird that they're jumping around when they're doing. There's a new Transformer line called Legacy.
Uh-huh.
And it's basically going to be a catch-all line for characters from different universes, like different Transformers universes, kind of like a multiverse type thing. And that's not the wrong one. The lines they're pulling from is weird. Like they're pulling from more recent lines than they are older lines, which to me it seems like they would do the lines they're pulling from. The figures actually had decent figures. Like they're doing in Japan, the series was called Galaxy Force. Here in the United States, it's called Cybertron.
Yeah.
Those figures were already good. So they're giving us updated of already good figures. Actually, when they did the update of the Galaxy Force Optimus Prime, it's a worse figure.
So rather than pull from the other lines that they should be upgrading.
Yeah, they could have done Armada. That was one of the very first bringing over Transformers animes instead of US doing their own cartoons.
Yeah.
Transformers, to save money, they were just bringing over what Takara did and redubbing them for the US market. Armada was basically they kicked off what they call the Unicron trilogy. Cybertron was the very end of it. You had Armada, you had Energon, and Cybertron. They call that the Unicron trilogy. Armada figures are most of the figures from that line of figures were bricks. They were meant for kids, like little kids. They didn't have hardly any articulation. That should have been like the ones getting highly articulated upgrades to me.
Yeah.
Or even like pulling from lines that didn't even get released in America, which there's a guy online. I actually he's one of the channels I recommend on my channel. If you go to my channel page, he does a computer upscaling of shows, and he's doing Beast Wars 2, the Japanese only series. Mm-hmm. He's done Beast Wars, the anime, like the CG series. He did Big Guy and Rusty. He does all kinds of cartoons and shows, and they're fantastic. His upscaling is beautiful work. I don't understand. They keep making all these terrible new Transformer shows. They got several series they could remaster and bring over and make new figures from those. When Transformers stopped in the United States, it was at what they call Rebirth, the final 4 episodes or 3. Mm-hmm. In Japan, it got another series. It got Headmasters. It got some of the episodes. I like the concept of Headmasters better, but a lot of the episodes were goofy and silly. But to us, I guess for them, I guess it was fine. But yeah, they could actually remaster some of those older shows. Like you had Headmasters, you had what was the one afterwards? The Power Master. That was. They had 2 or 3 more series after the U.S. series ended. Then when Beast Wars came out, they had 2 other Beast Wars cartoons. You had Beast Wars 2 and Beast Wars Neo. They were doing these fantastic Kingdom-like versions of Beast Wars characters. To me, it seemed logical to do Beast Wars 2 characters. Oh, yeah. They did release the Headmasters figures in the U.S. Yeah, Pretenders was in the next line series. I don't know why I'm blanking out on the Japanese series. I guess that's what Google's for. Yes, the leader of they had some Japanese only figures too, though, from those lines. And the leader of the Pretenders over there was what's his name? Hawk, but he suffers from gold plastic syndrome real bad, and it's a brittle figure.
All right, I think we should call it a night.
I'm getting all the list of series. This is the Transformers animated series. Transformers TV series, Wikipedia. Yeah. Cartoon overview. Okay. The Headmaster series, Super God Master Force, Victory, and Zone. And you had the Beast Wars series, Beast Wars 2 and Neo. And you had the Car Robot series, which was before the very first anime. Right after Beast Wars, it didn't get a lot of traction. Time like 9/11 happened.
Sounds like a lot of freaking series, though.
Yeah, and the Car Robots was a unique take on the Transformers. They were actually going back to more G1 stuff, but they mixed in some Beast Wars stuff in it too. some of the new type of lore Beast Wars introduced. Transformers has been doing multiverse for a long time. like the movie timeline is in the comics is considered an alternate universe. Because in the movies, in the Marvel comics, the movies happen in another universe, and in the main timeline for Transformers in the comics, Prime died different ways. He came back and different things, and yada yada yada. It's just completely different continuity. Megatron became Galvatron, but in the storyline too, the Marvel's Unicron brought Unicron over from that universe to be, because the Unicron was destroyed in that universe, like in the movie, but this Unicron brought Galvatron over to be his herald here. It's very convoluted. In the Marvel comics too, they're living beings. They're not just robots. The Unicron and Primus were like Galactus and type of celestial beings. They just took on human planetoid forms.
Yeah.
Like when people talk about like a Galactus versus Unicron, but which version of Unicron? You're talking about the movie Unicron? Galactus all the way. Marvel Comics Unicron? That'd be a tougher fight. Alrighty, we go ahead and call it a night and hang my head down in shame. I didn't get as many kits I wanted to get done tonight.
You didn't.
Definitely need to go get the leg upgrade kit for this guy because it looks so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you again for hanging out with me tonight, my friend, and
always a pleasure.
And you have a good night too, Alpha Proto. Let's see, pull up my brand here, pull out the outro. You hang on before we go offline. I'll talk to you here in a minute and get the outro. And again, thank you for taking the time to watch the channel. Like, share, comment, subscribe. We all catch y'all next time.
Take care, everyone.